Chapter 39:25. Boss, what are you doing? Guoran and others don't understand and shout in a hurry. At this time, a petite figure appeared. It was Dong Minjiu. She had a bloody head in her hand. The head was Ji Wuming. Dong Minjiu actually killed Ji Wuming. However, after killing Ji Wuming, Dong Minjiu also paid a lot of money. There were several blood holes in his body, and there was still a strong power of belief. It must be Ji Wuming, who saw that there was no hope of escape, fought back and tried to pull Dong Minjiu on the road together, causing heavy damage to Dong Minjiu. Brother Longchen, wait for me. Whoa! In the sky, a ray of thunder shot away. It was Lei Linger. She had just finished. After drawing Wang Tianyao's life rune, she ran after her and instantly integrated into the dragon dust. It's too late to explain. I have important things to do. The way of heaven began to drive out. There is still a little time left. Everyone quickly absorbs the chi of chaos. If you miss this village, you will not have this shop. By the way, Guoran, help me share this with my brothers. Longchen yelled. With these words, the dragon dust threw out a space ring, the space ring like lightning, through the void, shooting at Guoran. Guoran took the ring and saw that there were thousands of Tiandao fruits, which were also mixed with many leaves. It turned out that the dragon dust was in a hurry and immediately pushed it on the top of Tiandao tree. The top Tiandao fruits on the Tiandao tree were all two-color fruits. That is to say, these fruits are the fruits of double lineage, containing the power of the supreme bone and the supreme blood. Eating them can give ordinary people a great chance to become bipolar supreme. Among those strong people killed by Longchen, many are bipolar supreme, but many of them have not reached the bipolar fusion. However, if they are killed, their strength will be absorbed by the tree of heavenly way and produce double lineage Tiandao fruit. Today's dragon blood soldiers all have the supreme blood, and their supreme blood and dragon blood blend cannot be changed. But taking these fruits, they can produce the supreme bone, and every dragon blood warrior will become bipolar supreme. Without waiting for Guoran to react, the dragon dust has disappeared with the dragon Ao Tian. People find that Kuan too, whose wings have been torn off by the dragon dust, is gone. The heaven and earth are healing, and the endless chaotic chi is releasing. We should take the opportunity to absorb the chaotic chi. When the heaven and earth are fully healed, we will be ejected from the 3,000 worlds and return to our respective worlds. Emon Yen called. He was the first to gallop away, summoning visions in the distance, and absorbing the chaos between heaven and earth. Before, because of the battle of dragon dust, the laws of heaven and earth were collapsing. Everything was chaotic, and endless chaotic gas gushed out, but no one could absorb it. Now the law of heaven is becoming more and more peaceful, and the chi of chaos has become tame and can be absorbed gradually. People do not care to heal their wounds and begin to absorb the chi of chaos. Boom! Through the door of space, Longchen saw Luo Zichuan sitting in a chair to heal his wounds. Before Longchen could open his mouth, Luo Zichuan looked at Long Ao Tian in the hands of Longchen in shock. Luo Zichuan saw through the pure purple blood in the body of Dragon Ao at a glance. He couldn't believe his eyes. The dragon dust has sealed the perception of Long Outyin and throws him to the ground. My spirit blood, spirit root, and spirit bone were stolen by this guy. The patriarch, you can use his blood to open the door, right? Longchen asked. Absolutely. Luo Zichuan checked the body of Long Outyin, and his face showed a color of ecstasy and was extremely confident. That's good. Don't hurt his life after you've finished bleeding. It's very useful for me to keep him. Dragon Dust Road. Of course, it's useful. Now Long Outyin only awakens the supreme blood, but the supreme bone and spiritual root are not awakened. If he takes it back now, he can recover the supreme blood at most, and the supreme bone and spiritual root will be abandoned. It's better to let Long Outyin and the dragon family help him to keep them. When the time is right, the three things will be taken back together. Luo Zichuan looked at Long Outyin and Longchen, with a touch of insight in his eyes, and a smile gradually appeared on his face. I see. I'm only a little short of opening the door. His purple blood is so pure that it only needs a small part. You can't hurt his life. Don't worry. Luo Zichuan rode. Of course, there is no need to be too cheap for him. His purple blood has the power to regenerate. You can draw as much as you can, and the surplus can be distributed to the disciples of the Luo family. Long Chen laughs. Luo Zichuan also laughs and doesn't talk much. He takes the comatose dragon Outyin with exquisite steps and passes through the space boundary, and his figure disappears instantly. Will Long Outyin to Luo Zichuan, dragon dust is also completely at ease. Other things he does not need to worry about. After leaving the door of space, Long Chen returned to the 3,000 worlds, and the meaning of calling began to become more intense. Long Chen speeds up the speed and flies in the direction of the Dragon Blood Army. This reunion of the 3,000 worlds, he has too much to tell you. Hum. When Long Chen was flying, he suddenly saw that there was something different in the distance. Long Chen galloped away in that direction. Soon, he saw a space distortion. Countless words were flowing around a scholar's body, dragging a huge stone tablet from that space. Li Qinggang, Long Chen couldn't help being stunned. This man he knew was Li Qinggang, the Tianjiao of one of the 4 ancient books. Brother Long, come and help me and drag the stone tablet out with me. Seeing Long Chen, Li Qinggang is very happy and shouts at him. Long Chen rushed over and found that it was a huge stone tablet thousands of miles long. Li Qinggang used his skills, and the endless 9 Li characters were flying in the void, forming a chain, dragging the stone tablet outward. When Long Chen arrived, he grasped the chain and was shocked to find that the stone tablet was even heavier than a star. After he joined, the stone tablet was only dragged out for dozens of miles. What is this? Long Chen was surprised. I don't know. This is a stone tablet in the chaotic era. The stone itself is of ordinary material, but some of the words on it are immortal writings of the early Jiuli dynasty. This makes the stone tablet immortal after all ages. It is plain stone, but it is as heavy as stars. It's a pity that Jiuli Xianwen can't be depicted, printed, recorded in paper and pen, and not depicted in the soul. If you want to get it, you have to take it away, but... Li Qinggang is a little anxious. With the help of Long Chen, they can only pull out less than 100 li from that space. Now the power of summoning is becoming stronger and stronger, and it's too late at all. However, Li Qinggang meets the archaic immortal literature of the early generation, and Zhenrua lives and refuses to give up. Are they all Jiuli Xianwen of the early dynasty? Long Chen was shocked. No, there are only a few, but even a few are rare treasures. Li Qinggang is on his way. Buzz, at this time, the space around Long Chen and Li Qinggang vibrated slightly, forming a vortex, and their faces suddenly changed, which was to be transmitted back. Long Chen was in a great hurry. He had to get together with the people and explain something. Otherwise, everyone would have to separate. I don't know when to reunite. Brother Li, there is no other way. Can I help you break the stone tablet? Long Chen asked. Can you interrupt? That's not to be desired. Li Qinggang was overjoyed. Dragon dust sacrificed the bronze ancient tripod, pushed the bronze ancient tripod, and dashed against the stone tablet. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3926, Bang. When the stone tablet touched the ancient bronze tripod, it exploded, and countless characters were broken. A section of the huge stone tablet was smashed. Li Qinggang's face showed a look of ecstasy. He collected the stone tablet and said excitedly to Long Chen, Brother Long, don't thank you for your great kindness. I owe you a great favor. Long Chen smashed the stone tablet with a bronze tripod and slipped away. He didn't have time to say hello to Li Qinggang. Before Long Chen was still strange, such a big move, Li Qinggang actually did not rush over, feeling he found the treasure. Unfortunately, Li Qinggang couldn't eat the mysterious stone tablet. If it wasn't for the arrival of dragon dust, he wouldn't even get any benefits. Li Qinggang did not even change his breath. It is estimated that after discovering the stone tablet, he wanted to seize the stone tablet. He didn't even absorb the chi of chaos. All his energy was spent on this stone tablet. Li Qinggang is like this. He believes that there are still many treasure lands in the 3,000 world, which firmly attracts other talents. Tianjiao in the 3000 world has not been completely captured. Boom! The space behind the dragon dust vibrates, the whirlpool becomes bigger and bigger, and the meaning of summoning becomes stronger and stronger. At the same time, with the healing of the 3000 worlds, the sense of rejection becomes stronger and stronger. I don't know if it's because he almost blew up the 3000 worlds. The repulsion of the 3000 worlds is extremely strong. The speed of the dragon dust is limited, and the surrounding space seems to be solidified. Boom! As Long Chen punched out, a large space burst open, and the pressure suddenly reduced, and Long Chen took the opportunity to fly. Boom! The two fists of Long Chen are waving, constantly breaking the void and breaking the law of heaven and earth. Only in this way can Long Chen move forward. Boss! The dragon dust is flying, and the Dragon Blood Legion in the distance is working together to resist the power of space, so that they will not be transported away immediately. They are overjoyed to see the arrival of dragon dust. Brothers, after you go back, practice well. I don't have a chance this time. When we get together next time, our brother will turn upside down. Long Chen yelled. The force of space is becoming stronger and stronger. The boundary formed by the Dragon Blood Army is soon crushed. The powerful force of space sucks and drags Dragon Blood soldiers into the void. Take care, boss. Our brothers will meet again and overturn the 9 days and 10 places. The name of the Dragon Blood Army will ring through the sky forever. The Dragon Blood soldiers were engulfed by the space and yelled at the dragon dust. One by one, tears filled their eyes. They just got together and immediately separated. They didn't even have a chance to speak. They were very sad in their hearts. Yes, I will. The Dragon Blood Army is the first army of Tianwu, and will be the first army of 9 days and 10 places in the future. Dragon dust roars. Buzz buzz. The figures of the Dragon Blood soldiers disappeared. Bai Shishir, Dong Minjiu, Uxiaqian and Xiaoyun waved to Long Chen one after another. In their eyes, they were all reluctant to give up. Roar! Xiaoxue roared at the dragon dust, with endless expression in the voice and strong attachment in the eyes. Long Chen, promise me to take good care of Qingxian. I hope that when we meet next time, she will become your wife who you married in a fair way. Mengqi looked at the dragon dust, with endless tenderness on her pretty face. Sister. Danxian pretty face red, she likes dragon dust, also know that Long Chen has a lot of confidence, but Mengqi's words, but her heart is shaking. In the fairyland, even the practitioners have no worldly constraints. As long as they are strong enough, they can have numerous Taoist partners, but few of them get married. Because in the fairyland, marriage is similar to a grand sacrifice, will get the blessing of heaven, regardless of men and women. A person can only accept the blessing of heaven once in his life. When Mengqi arrived, both Yu Qingxian and Bai Shishir were deeply impressed by Mengqi's temperament, especially Bai Shishir, who knew that Mengqi was Long Chen's wife. Now Mengqi even let Long Chen marry Dan Xianzi as his wife. She is willing to give up her wife's status. For her, the sacrifice is too big. Bai Shishir looks at Mengqi with disbelief. Yu Qingxian is also flustered. In a panic, she doesn't know what to say. Mengqi. Long Chen's nose is sour, tears almost flow out. The woman's nature is jealous. Mengqi's sacrifice for him is too much, even if it is broken to pieces, cannot repay his kindness in case. Such a woman can marry her as a wife. It is the blessing of several lives. She understands the meaning of Mengqi, just because of understanding, in her heart more guilty. Mengqi is well-intentioned. Long Chen O's love will never be finished. Most of the time, thinking of these confidants, Long Chen is dying of happiness and guilt. He is at a loss as to how to repay their kindness. Mengqi's smile is like a lotus blossom, beautiful without losing grace. It seems that the world has become beautiful because of her smile. No matter how much I sacrifice, what is it compared with the reincarnation of thousands of generations? Listen, I believe you will make Qingxian marry you happily with your wisdom and means, regardless of any difficulties and obstacles, you can repay her love for you. Boom! At this time, the heaven and earth trembled, and the heaven and earth torn by dragon dust. Kuntu and Long Outyin finally healed, and the strong pulling force swallowed up the people and sent them out. Meng Qi by Shishir, Yu Shaoqian, Xiao Yun, Xiao Shui, Gu Yang, Yu Zifeng, Li Qi, Song Mingyuan, by Xiaola and others all stick to this day, but they still can't say anything. In the end, only Mo Nian and Long Chen are left. Mo Nian looks at Long Chen, shakes his head, and says in an angry voice, "It's really bad luck to mix with you. In the place of celestial burial, you didn't get any benefits and almost lost your life. The previous war, because of the protection of you, such a good pretend to force the opportunity, all failed to seize. Finally, I was fed a handful of dog food by you. What should I tell you? Didn't you get a sickle from the underworld?" Long Chen laughs. "Pull it down. Who am I reading? I always eat big fish and big meat. I don't care about this little fish and shrimp. Okay, next time I don't care about you. I want to be famous. This time, I failed to pretend to be a supporting role. I was in a panic. Mo Nian is not happy. Okay, don't ink like a girl. Next time you pretend to be forced, I'll give you a hand, okay?" Long Chen has no good breath. "Haha, I'll wait for your words. That's okay. I'll inform you in advance next time I want to pretend to be forced." Mo Nian haha smile, finish saying the figure disappeared. The dragon of 3,000 has just disappeared from the world. Boom, the dragon dust has just disappeared, the void has exploded, and the two sky-blocking doors are open, and endless purple gas gushes out from the gates. Finally it worked. Luo Zichuan looked at the open door. His eyes were full of excitement. He looked down and looked at the dragon Outyin, whose face was as white as paper. He seemed to have a smile on his mouth and let go of his big hand. As soon as Luo Zichuan's hand was released, Long Aotian's body was engulfed by the force of space and transmitted out. Boom! At this time, the door, out of the countless body purple entangled, breath-startling old man. Luo Zichuan, a descendant of no responsibility, salutes our ancestors. Luo Zichuan knelt down respectfully and saluted the old people. "Come out, finally come out, child, you are the great meritorious minister of my purple blood. From today on, my purple blood has returned. Those who framed us, you wait for us." Those old men looked at this place and roared, which made the stars fall one after another. I don't know how many times more powerful than the 9 days of dragon dust. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 39:27 The dragon dust is inhaled into the void, and the void is constantly twisted, as if falling into the space-time channel, dizziness and brain distension. What's the situation and how is it different from when you came in? Long Chen cried. When you come, it's easy for the big world to enter the small world. If you go down the river, it's easy. If you go back now, you're going up against the current. It's the law of the big world that pulls you back. Of course, you'll feel uncomfortable. The strong of the dragon race. Master, why haven't I met many people in the 3,000 world? Don't you say that I can see my old friends? Long Chen asked. I've seen so much. I want you to come here mainly to get my dragon scales. It's good to see so many people. Besides, do you know what the bronze tripod is? I tell you, you've made a lot of money this time, and you're not satisfied yet? The strong people of the dragon nationality have no good manners. No, I just miss my friends so much. Long Chen is in a hurry. This time, Chu Yao, Lu Rian, Yi Zhiqiu, Tang Weiner, Xian, Amon and others didn't show up. Long Chen's heart was always empty and uncomfortable. Long Chen is especially worried about Amon. This silly child has no survival ability. He doesn't know whether he will become a beggar again. If he does, Long Chen will die of guilt. Not only these people but also dragon blood soldiers only gathered more than 2,700 people. Many people did not appear, especially the female soldiers of the medical regiment. Dragon Dust was full of worries. He was not dissatisfied with the harvest, but worried about these people. Even if he only looked at them, at least he knew how they were now. Don't worry about it. If you're okay, don't ask about it. You can see it naturally when fate comes. Hey, but anyway, you've been good this time. You've given me a long face. It's been many years, and you've finally been able to breathe. Later, the strong man of the dragon clan said that he was very satisfied with the battle of Longchen. What he was most satisfied with was not the fighting style of Longchen, but the way of forcing him. His domineering tone, cool and arrogant attitude, and his arrogant temperament made the strong men of the dragon clan feel very cool, just as cool as his own. Hey, it's up to you to cultivate. When the iron is hot, the dragon dust flatters directly. But I have to say that the strong people of the dragon clan helped him too much. Longchen was full of gratitude and respect for the strong people of the dragon clan. Longchen now knows that this dragon clan strongman is a terrible ancestor dragon. He has created a complete blood inheritance. He only got part of his blood essence and 3 moves of magic power, so he killed all directions and swept 3,000 worlds. Without this ancestor dragon scale, in the face of so many abnormal strong men as Long Outyen, Kuntu, Juyo Luosha, Ji Wuming, Yin Chongxing, Shikai, Wang Tingao and so on, Longchen would only be able to escape. After receiving the blessing of dragon blood, his body was full of strength, which gave him endless confidence and confidence. He swept the whole field with the magic power of the dragon clan. He didn't use his moves. He felt so cool. Hey, you flatter me well. I have to accept it. Now you understand why I don't let you listen to your grandfather. The strong of the dragon race. Longchen nodded his head and said, Understand, my grandfather controlled the power to the extreme, because his power is limited. Only with strong control can we transform the limited power into more and stronger killing moves. But I am not the same, as the old man said, in the face of absolute power, any skill is pulling. Instead of focusing on control, I focus on how to gain more and more power. A basin of water, even if how to save, energy play to the extreme is also so much, a river of water, how to waste, the impact is so amazing. Instead of saving, it's better to expand more tributaries. As long as you have enough strength, you don't need skills at all. If you need skills to overcome each other, it means that you are not strong enough. Haha, good boy, you finally turned the corner. You Terrans, because of their body shape, don't have much energy to store, so you have to find ways to save energy. Therefore, you people are very smart and have come up with countless magic powers. With your own power, you can arouse the power of heaven to increase the attack power and save your original power. Many practitioners of your Terran have gone into a misunderstanding and constantly study various techniques to improve attack efficiency and reduce attack cost. It's not that it's wrong to attract the power of heaven, but to decide according to your own conditions. You people pay too much attention to external forces and ignore your own power. You Terrans rely too much on the way of heaven, but you don't trust yourself enough. Do you know that in the chaotic era, your human body is very powerful? Even among all the nationalities, it can be ranked in the top 10. The strong of the dragon race. True or false? Dragon Dust was startled. The flesh of Terran is the weakest among all nations, and can be ranked into the top 10? He couldn't believe it. At that time, your people didn't know any skills, techniques and skills. They also relied on blood and magic power to protect them. At that time, the blood of the people was extremely pure, and it was easy to move mountains and fill the sea. But the human race is changeable, and the way of heaven changes. They are also changing, constantly studying the changes of the way of heaven, using the elements of heaven and earth to strengthen themselves, and gradually formed the road of practice. When the path of practice is open, the road of blood will be closed. Your people's skills are becoming stronger and stronger, but the power of blood is getting weaker and weaker, which leads to your physical body getting worse and worse. Now, of all the races, it is the most powerful. Moreover, your people have embarked on the road of cultivation, and all races have followed suit and made great efforts to evolve into adult forms in order to obtain the favor of heaven. But now it's different. The sky is not the same as before, but the way of practice of your people has not changed. No one of you can create a new cultivation system with the change of the way of heaven. Therefore, the current Terrans are very weak. Compared with the archaic times, They are too weak and too much. Don't be completely entangled in the reason for the chaotic atmosphere. This is only one aspect. The main reason is that you people do not understand the law of heaven anymore. The strong of the dragon nationality is meaningful. Is it that the way of heaven has been changed by something? Is this a conspiracy against the Terrans? Long Chen asked. The strong man of the dragon clan didn't answer, and he didn't make any sound again, so Long Chen's heart leaped wildly. Is there any scruples even for the existence of the strong dragon clan? All of a sudden, Long Chen's eyes lit up, and the man had already appeared in Xiantiandu. Before Long Chen could fully see the situation in front of him, the terrible breath of death had enveloped him. Long Chen didn't want to think about it, so he pulled out his scabbard and cut him down with all his strength. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3928. Boom! With a startling sound, Long Chen cracked his hands and jaws, numbed his arms, snorted, and nearly turned over his internal organs. In Puda, the attack was silent, and the block of Long Chen was completely instinctive. When he hit the block, the face of Imputa suddenly appeared in his mind. Boom! Between the earth and the earth, the sun and the moon are in darkness, and the stars are trembling. The dragon dust is shocked to find that a war is breaking out here. Long Chen was rocked out by Imputa's dagger, but he didn't see the shadow of Imputa. The terrible breath of death locked Long Chen. Long Chen roared and waved the long sword continuously. At one breath, he cut out 36 swords. The 36 blasts were connected together. The sound was too dense, as if it was a blast. Long Chen is shocked. Imputa's attack is so fast that he can't even see the number of moves. In fact, Long Chen's attacks are blinded by his feelings. At this time, he is like a blind man, unable to see the enemy, unable to perceive the enemy's position, can only rely on the perception of death, random moves. This is the first time that Long Chen has really fought against Imputa. At this time, he realized how terrible an assassin Imputa was. In the past, Imputa was in disguise. Today, he gave up his disguise and really wanted to kill him. Under the attack of the storm, Long Chen didn't even have the time to open his body. All his time was used to resist crazily. Once he made a mistake, he was killed. Boom is still a long knife tearing the sky, smashing thousands of roads. A bang, the void between the explosion and Imputa fat body, finally appeared. It was Xia Guhong who made the move. At this time, behind Xia Guhong, there appeared 3 color god flowers. The 3 flowers flowed and their power was connected with the sky. Xia Guhong held a long sword, like the god of heaven, who came into the world with supreme power and looked down upon the world. Fatso, dare to attack Laozi. Bang! At the moment when Xia Guhong forced her out of the room, she choked the fire of the dragon dust, slapped him on his fat face, and with a bang, Imputa's round body was whipped to fly. Long Chen is frightened and angry. Imputa's attacks are continuous, and he doesn't give him a chance to breathe. He has already reached the limit by attacking so many moves in one breath. If Xia Guhong hadn't done it, he would have died. Moreover, he was assassinated in the most oppressive and cowardly way. When Long Chen was furious, he saw the opportunity and didn't want to be a big mouth. Boom! Suddenly, the void around Long Chen burst open, and countless strong men emerged. At a glance, Long Chen saw Wang Tai North, the ancestor of Kunpeng clan, and the old monster of the first demon clan. These old monsters in the vision behind them also bear 3 god flowers. The god flowers flow, the Tao and Dharma are connected to the sky, and the breath of terror makes the dragon dust seem to hold a world, and their bodies are going to be crushed. Dragon dust, you little beast, return Luo Cha's life. Liao Bunsong roared, and the endless power of faith behind him erupted, and 3 divine flowers were also condensed. However, his god flowers were all of one color, while Xia Guhong and others were of 3 colors. If you want to kill my brother, first ask me whether Xia Guhong agrees or not. Xia Guhong snorted coldly, and the long sword fell down. Liao Bensong changed several body methods, but Xia Guhong hit him precisely. Boom! With a bang, Liao Binsong was slashed by Xia Guhong. In front of Xia Guhong, he was obviously not enough to see. Boom! A Kunpeng, with 2 wings covering the sky, penetrates the sky. Its huge figure covers the whole world. Suddenly, it opens its mouth, and endless divine light flows. A divine light shoots at Xia Guhong. It was the ancestor of the Kunpeng clan. It launched its own magic power. As soon as the divine light appeared, even the dragon dust was locked. Long Chen's soul was in a sharp pain, as if he was about to be torn apart. There was a feeling that he wanted to be driven out of his wits. A simple lock-in would almost make him unable to bear. Such an attack was enough to kill him for thousands of times. Facing the attack from the ancestors of the Kunpeng family, Xia Guhong sneered, holding the knife in both hands, the handle in one hand, and the blade in the other. He even used the blade to fight against the divine light. Boom! The divine light landed and hit Xia Guhong's sword. On Xia Guhong's saber, a divine pattern appeared, which converged into a pattern of a dragon's head and a sparrow's body. The moment the pattern lit up, the Kunpeng ancestors' attack was directly shattered. Boom! Hundreds of millions of fragments of divine light, like sharp swords, burst through clouds and rocks, and the ancient cities underground have collapsed. These ancient cities, after years of baptism, are indestructible, but they cannot block these fragments of light. Death, suddenly, there was a roar, and 4 old monsters of the first demon clan joined hands to kill them. In those days I could kill you and make you kneel down to beg for mercy. Xia Guhong's long knife cuts horizontally, and the dragon and sparrow god pattern lights up again. With a bang, Xia Guhong retreated a few steps, but the 4 old monsters of the beginning demon clan flew backward like a meteor, with one enemy 4 and incomparable domineering power. Even if you go together? Today, let's see who can walk out of the purple sky alive. Xia Guhong shakes his long sword in his hand, and the long sword roars. Standing in the void, Xia Guhong looks down upon the world of heaven and looks down upon the ages with indescribable hegemony and calmness. Long Chen realized that their feelings had been fighting for a while. It was estimated that they had suffered a great loss. In their fury, they wanted to kill Long Chen. Xia Guhong naturally had to support Long Chen. Dragon dust, you little beast, hand over my crazy blade and Tianlei Tower, otherwise, you will not be able to survive or die. Wang Taibei looks at Long Chen, and his eyes are red. It's the treasure of Ziding Empire. It's all in the hands of Long Chen. Not only to return 2 sacred objects, but also to return my original rune. At this time, a figure in the distance looked at the dragon dust, full of resentment in his eyes. It was Wang Tianyao. Lei Ling, you didn't kill him. Long Chen can't help asking. Lei Linger immediately felt embarrassed and said, I'm sorry, Brother Long Chen. I think he's so miserable that I don't mean to kill him. Lei Linger takes Wang Tianyao's Thunderblade and Ancient Pagoda, and extracts his original rune. Wang Tianyao has become a semi-useless state. She finally doesn't kill him and releases him. Now, when she sees Long Chen, she feels a little uneasy. Long Chen said with a smile, Good, you now have your own feelings and the ability to judge right and wrong, instead of always according to my will to do things. Very good, you are more and more powerful. Seeing that Long Chen did not blame her but praised her, Lei Linger was moved. However, for Long Chen, a half-dead Wang Gao is nothing. Instead, Lei Linger has independent thinking ability, which makes him very happy. She has grown up. Want something from my dragon dust? You think too much. In the face of Wang Taibei and Wang Tianyao's demands, Long Chen is too lazy to answer them. He shows a disdainful expression directly, which is an answer. Long Chen's expression angered everyone, because these people were either descendants, apprentices, or clansmen, or were killed or maimed by Long Chen. They wanted to kill Long Chen alive. Xia Guhong, Wang Taibei is going to kill this little animal. I think you can't stop it. Wang Tai North roared, holding a thunderbolt spear. The thunder roared through the clear sky and killed with supreme power. Looking at the ferocious appearance of Wang Taibei, Long Chen quietly inquires the strong man of the dragon clan. Master, if someone attacks me later, can I kill one of them with a bronze tripod? I'm not happy to see them play hard. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3929. Are you crazy? The strong dragon responded. What? Bronze tripod can't deal with him? Longchen asked. Now you can't control the tripod at all. You can't even activate a rune. You can't control a trace of its power. These guys are the three-pole supreme and have already condensed the vision of three flowers connecting the sky, which is what your people call the three flowers gathering together. Even in the archaic times, such people were considered super strong. What do you compare with them? A boy who just entered the fairyland. You can't compare them with the old guys in the 3,000 worlds. The rules of the small world are different from those of the big world. Do you think whales can be raised in a small pond? Asked the strong dragon. I don't think so. Longchen understood the meaning of the strong man of the dragon clan. There was still a certain gap between him and these old monsters. In the 3,000 world, he could sweep everything, but in front of these old guys, he couldn't move, which made him a little uncomfortable. Just a while ago, how can I meet a big guy again? He hasn't had enough fun. Besides, what's the use of killing one? I tell you, this bronze tripod has an amazing origin. You should not use it easily. Many people here are old guys. If you recognize the origin of the bronze tripod, they'll tell you that the creatures in the 9 days and 10 places will hunt you down. Whether it's Tianjiao at the same level or the old monsters that have been dust-laden for thousands of years, they will come in a swarm. It's not a joke. Take your time. Don't make a fuss about everything. The strong people of the dragon nationality are serious. Although he knew that the origin of the ancient tripod was absolutely different, even the invincible mysterious dagger could not be stabbed. It must be a level. However, the strong dragon clan warned him so seriously that he obviously underestimated the ancient tripod. Longchen originally wanted to rely on this ancient tripod, just like Yin Long Outyen, and he would be seriously injured even if he didn't die. Then he took the opportunity to give him a sudden blow and kill him. His face was exposed. However, after being told by the strong men of the dragon clan, Longchen had to put down his tempting thought. Boom boom. Xia Guhong's long sword flashed and cut out 7 swords in succession. The heaven and earth trembled, the vigorous wind burst, and the violent power swept all over the world. It turns out that this is the gathering of 3 flowers. The 3 flowers represent the essence, qi and spirit, and also the spirit blood, spirit root, and spirit bone. The integration of the 3 is the same as the heaven and earth. The gap is too big. Longchen can't help but feel shocked. These strong men waved and raised their feet, roared, controlled the laws of heaven and earth, simplified the complexity, and gathered their strength without dispersing them. It seems that their prestige is not as powerful as the battle of dragon dust in the 3,000 world. But in fact, on the contrary, every move of them is a well-trained attack, which does not cause a large-scale collapse. The reason is that their control power has reached an extreme level, and they will never waste a little bit. Before Imputa's attack, there was no wind or pressure, but Longchen was sweating and nearly killed under his dagger. Your people's state of God worship is divided into heaven, earth, and human beings, which are human, earth, and heaven. The strong of the dragon race. So they are all powerful in heaven? Longchen was surprised that the word emotional heaven came from. No, they are not heavenly beings. They are all earth worshippers. Although they have integrated spiritual blood, spiritual roots, and spiritual bones, they have also formed 3 flowers, but they are still one step short of merging the 3 flowers into one. If they can be combined into one, the 3 flowers will become a flower of 3 colors and gather on the top of the head, which is the real 3 flowers gathering on the top. Therefore, they can only be regarded as a half step of heaven, but the last half step is extremely difficult, just like a natural moat, which countless people can't cross all their lives. The strong of the dragon race. Longchen was shocked in his heart that there were so many different realms in the Godzun realm. The strong people he met in the 3,000 world were all human beings. According to the strong dragon people, if it is Dizuan, at least it is bipolar supreme, and at the same time, it should condense 2 flowers of the road. No, the deities in the 3,000 worlds do not even have a flower of the road. They are not even human beings. They are just the most common gods. At the thought of this, Long Chen felt numb. The water in the god's Zun state was too deep. When he came out of the 3,000 worlds, he thought that he could sweep the Holy Land and find the trouble of the great Brahmin. Now think about it, his idea is too naive. The great Brahmin has lived for countless years, and he must have been a celestial being. If he seeks revenge, there is no difference between killing him. Boom boom. All of a sudden, there was a strong wind between heaven and earth, with all kinds of twisted rules and roaring laws. Kunpeng Laozu, Wing Tai Bi, Imputa, Liao Bensong, and the old monsters of the Meluo clan all made a sharp move. Before it seemed to be a trial, now they really break out of divine power. Behind them 3 flowers flow, breath and heaven and earth connected. Boom, the Kunpeng ancestor grabs and falls in the air, covering the whole purple sky with one blow, as if all the stars were pressing down together. Do you really want to fight to the death? Seeing the Kunpeng ancestors attack, Xia Guhong's face suddenly became cold and fierce. The dragon dust cuts off the wings of Kunpeng, which is the biggest blasphemy to the Kunpeng family. If I hand over the Kunpeng wings, I can spare him from death. Kunpeng Laozu said angrily. If you're a winner and a loser, you're going to lose. You want to take back the booty? What about the pride of the Kunpeng people? Xia Guhong Cold Tunnel. If you say so, then stop talking nonsense and see the real chapter under your hand. Kunpeng Laozu sneered and showed no mercy. Bang, Xia Guhong slashed with a knife, and his whole body glowed. The power of 3 flowers poured into the long sword, and a startling explosion broke out. Click, click. Huge force tore the earth, hundreds of millions of miles of purple sky, was shocked to pieces, slowly sinking, the earth's crust began to deform. Poof, dragon dust spat out blood. He had been protected by Xia Guhong before. He didn't feel much about it. But Xia Guhong obviously had no ability to protect him after receiving the blow from Kunpeng ancestor. Long Chen found out that Xia Guhong and others, seemingly flat and uninhibited, were really terrible. Death, when Xia Guhong and Kunpeng's ancestors fought back, Long Chen was exposed. Liao Bensong seized the opportunity and chopped at Long Chen with a sword. With the power of faith, he locked dragon dust in a moment. Long Chen was shocked to find that when the 3 flowers flashed, the space solidified and he could not move. 2 dragons break the sky, the dragon dust roars and barely seals. The strength of the whole body gushes out, and the thunder dragon and the fire dragon come together. Boom! The 2 dragons hit Liao Bensong with a bang, and the 2 dragons burst into pieces. However, Liao Bensong was so bloody that he was almost not blown to pieces. Terran imp, you don't have a chance to grow up. Go and die. All of a sudden, a big hand with magic chi, such as the hand of the demon god, carries boundless evil chi and beats down the dragon dust. No matter, I'm going to use the bronze tripod. The dragon dust roars at the strong man of the dragon clan. His power of dragon blood is exhausted, and the power of soul is given to Lei Linger and Hua Linger. If he doesn't use the bronze tripod at this time, he will surely die. However, before Long Chen used the bronze tripod, a loud and clear cry was heard between heaven and earth, such as the sound of a phoenix, like the chant of a dragon, which made all the officials obey the emperor and come down with supreme power. Poof! The light of the knife crossed the void, and the old devil was chopped into powder. Since you want to fight a real battle, I Xia Guhong will help you. Xia Guhong stood in front of the dragon dust. In the vision behind him, a huge dragon bird pattern appeared. He held a long knife and pointed to the people. His eyes were full of killing intention, which made people shudder. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 39:30. A knife breaks through the sky, and Shenhui startles thousands of people. This knife cuts off the confinement of heaven and earth. The old monster of the magic Luo family is split into pieces by a knife. At the moment when the flowers of the three roads crumble, the sky and the earth tremble, and the light and rain pour down, and the heaven and earth appear a sense of sadness. A strong man who condensed 3 flowers fell down. It seemed that even heaven felt sorry for him and left tears. Xia Guhong holds a long sword, killing the sky. In the vision behind him, a dragon sparrow appears, and the breath of chaos flows. The supreme divine power is stirring and inviolable. As soon as the dragon finch appeared, the faces of countless strong people on the scene changed greatly, and their bodies could not help shaking slightly, as if an invisible force oppressed them to worship the dragon sparrow. The spirit of the dragon sparrow is still in him. When seeing the huge shadow of dragon and bird, Wang Tai Bi, the ancestor of Kunping, Liao Bensong, and Puta and others suddenly changed their faces and couldn't help but retreat. Are you satisfied? Although I don't have the great summer dragon bird now, but the spirit of the great summer dragon bird is immortal, I have a trace of its spirit power. The first strike has been made by the 3 strikes of Long Ke, and there are 2 more. After the 2 strikes, I will exhaust the blessing power of Long Ke and enter the weak state. Who is willing to take the remaining 2 blows from me? Xia Guhong's voice reverberates between heaven and earth, full of dignity and hegemony. Xia Guhong, the monarch of the great Xia Empire, the master of the supreme artifact de Xia Long Ke, was born emperor. With the blessing of Long Ke, he could live forever. He was one of the most powerful in modern times in 9 days and 10 places. Later, the great Xia Empire changed, and the empire was dissolved. The great Xia Dragon Sparrow disappeared, and Xia Guhong disappeared. But Xia Guhong's light is too strong. For countless years, the legend about him is still popular. The siege of Xia Guhong by Wang Tai Bi, the ancestors of Kunping, Liao Bensong, Imputa and others is actually testing Xia Guhong to see if he has lost the blessing of the great Xia Long Ke. When Xia Guhong showed the vision of Dragon Sparrow, and the holy Weiya swept the sky, their hearts were beating wildly, and Long Ke blessing was still on Xia Guhong. 4 old monsters of the Meluo family were killed by Xia Guhong, and the other 3 faces showed a look of fear. They are demons. They are naturally suppressed by the sacred glory of the Dragon Sparrow. Fortunately, they hid quickly just now. Otherwise, the terrible knife might take the 4 of them together. The 3 survivors were shocked and angry. They understood in an instant that they were used by Wang Tai Bi, the ancestor of Kunping, Liao Bensong and Imputa. Just now, except for Liao Bensong, everyone had the opportunity to kill Longchen, but they did not attack. The old monsters of the Monroe clan did not know that they instinctively killed Longchen when they saw the opportunity. As a result, they succeeded in forcing out the blessing of the great Xia Long Ke. Of course, they were almost killed by Xia Guhong. Sinister Terrans, you will eventually pay a heavy price for your actions. An old monster of the Meluo clan roared and ran away directly with his people. The sinister people in his mouth did not know whether it was Xia Guhong or Longchen, or Wang Tai Bi, the ancestor of Kunping, Liao Bensong, and Puta, or everyone. The old monsters of the Moros have found that if they continue to stay here, they will be very dangerous. After all, this is the Terran boundary. If it is dug again, the whole army will be destroyed. In the 3000 world, only a few hundred of the tens of millions of disciples of the Meluo family have returned. If they also set up here, they will be really finished. As soon as the demon troops left, Wang Tai Bi, the ancestors of the Kunping clan, Liao Bensong, and Imputa became ugly. Xia Guhong had already summoned the blessing of the great Xia Dragon Sparrow. It was obvious that this was going to be desperate. Although they are peerless strong, also have strong cards, but no one can guarantee that they can block Xia Guhong's attack in this state. At this time, Xia Guhong was invincible and terrifying. No one was willing to take risks because he would lose his life if he was not careful. Dragon Dust, hand over the original rune of Tianmiao. Everything is easy to say, otherwise, you will regret it. Wang Tai is biting his teeth to the Dragon Dust Road. Who is Longchen? At a glance, we can see that these people are scared by Xia Guhong. How can they be threatened? Disdainful. Are you full of shit in your head? That silly child in your family has been beaten to be disabled, and I still hope to repair the relationship with you? You're sick, dragon dust, hand over Tour's wings, you open a condition. The ancestors of the Kunping people are cold and cold. He had some brains. He knew that it was no use scaring Longchen. He simply asked Longchen to make an offer to redeem Kunta's wings. Longchen quipped, "First of all, I don't lack money, so I don't have to open the price. In addition, I'm cultivating the inheritance of the dragon clan, which is destined to be a deadly enemy with you Kunping people. Do you think he'll give his wings back? That's my booty. He'll collect it later." You. The ancestors of the Kunping clan were furious, and Longchen took away the wings of Kun too, which was a great shame and unacceptable to the Kunping people. Forget it all of a sudden, Kun Tu appeared and had to sigh that the Kunping clan was so powerful that it was beaten like that by the dragon dust, and his wings were torn off. At this time, except for his slightly pale face, he was no different from usual, and his chi and blood strength was restored a lot. Dragon dust, if you cut off my wings today, I will be brave after knowing my shame. In the future, I will cut off your head to make a night pot. Kunta looks at Longchen with cold, killing intention in his eyes. Who can't be cruel? If you don't agree, let's make a comparison now, and let the strong people present be a witness. Longchen disdains tunnel. Wait and see. I swear to kill you. Kun Tu snorted coldly. Okay, they'll wait for you. I hope you can bring a pair of complete wings when you come next time, or I don't know what I can cut on you next time. Dragon dust admonishes away. Poof. Kun Tu turned around and heard the words of Longchen, and his blood gushed out. It turned out that Kun Tu was very strong, and everything on his appearance was made up by force. Longchen's words aroused his anger in his heart. His chi and blood were so weak that his injury could not be suppressed. Therefore, he donated blood all the time. Boy, you will eventually pay for your arrogance. The old ancestor of the Kunping clan, with a cold face, took a look at Longchen and left with a group of people. When the Kunping people left, Wang Taibei, Liao Bensong and Imputa left one after another. Before Wang Gao left, he even made a gesture of cutting his throat to Longchen. Originally, Longchen thought this guy was very pathetic. As a result, his gesture made Longchen upset. This guy deserved to suffer. Lei Ling Air, next time you have a chance, teach him how to be a man. Longchen said to Lei Linger. Okay, don't worry, brother Longchen. I won't be soft-hearted next time. Lei Linger replied very simply. All the enemies left, and all the people present were strong people. They didn't dare to leave directly. They were afraid that these enemies would ambush in the distance and could not deal with Xia Guhong. They would take their revenge on them. Big brother Guhong, you are really powerful and domineering. My admiration for you is just like a flowing river. At this time, Xia Chen and Guoran, who are hiding in the crowd, dare to come out. They can't help but hide, so as not to let Longchen worry about it. Guoran flatters Xia Guhong excitedly. At this time, Yu Qingxian also came over. Longchen was overjoyed and couldn't help but pull her hand. Daring pariah, dare to blaspheme the princess. A half-male and female sharp curse came. Wei Gonggong's annoying face appeared in front of Longchen, with the orchid finger to Longchen. Fuck you. I've been putting up with you for a long time. Pa Longchen slapped the fat and tender cheek of Duke Wei. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3931. Longchen has long been offended by this Duke Wei. Before, because of Yu Qingchuan's face, he tried to bear with it. At this time, this guy came out again. Longchen was furious and slapped him. Duke Wei gave a painful hum. Half of his face was puffed open, just like a rotten persimmon. He tumbled in the air for several times. He fell on the ground like a dead toad. His whole body was convulsing, and he had fainted. You know, today's dragon dust, however, has absorbed the blood essence of the ancestor dragon, and his physical strength is so strong that he can't believe it. If it wasn't for mercy, even if the Duke Wei practiced Yin and soft skills, he would be beaten into powder with a slap. The strong men who followed Duke Wei came with a cry of surprise and hurried to check the injury of Duke Wei. With everyone's busy, Duke Wei slowly woke up. Old man, you dare to blind me in front of me again, I will let you not see the sun tomorrow. Long Chun points to the cold tunnel of Duke Wei. This male and female guy is so annoying. If Yu Qingxian was not here, Long Chen would teach him how to be a man. Dragon dust. Seeing that Long Chen's face was gloomy, Yu Qingxian was afraid that Long Chen would kill people in a rage. Although she hated Duke Wei, he was a member of the imperial family of the Rosefinch Empire. If Long Chen killed him, things would become difficult. Yu Qingxian takes Long Chen and asks him to calm down. She knows that Long Chen is playful and unruly on the surface and is not easily angry. But once he is really angry, he can do anything. In this 3,000 world, Long Chen killed more creatures than Yu Qingxian had seen in her life. To be honest, she was afraid of Long Chen's angry appearance. Good, you wait for me. Duke Wei covered his face, his eyes were full of venomous color, but he knew that at this time, with the dragon dust as the enemy, dragon dust would really kill him. Duke Wei is also a very strong man. In order to cultivate, he even cut the root of his life. His power of Yin and softness is amazing, and he also has a strong perception. Before entering the 3,000 world, although he felt that the dragon dust was extremely powerful, he was not afraid of him if he gave his full strength. However, the slap of Long Chen just now made him confused. Now his life is so vast and endless that his perception fails. If a hero doesn't suffer from the loss in front of him, he doesn't dare to beat him anymore, although he can't be regarded as a hero anymore. When I finish my work, I will go to the Rosefinch Empire and propose marriage to your lord. If you have seed, try to destroy it and see if I can kill you. Long Chen Cold Tunnel. Dragon Dust. Long Chen even said such a thing in public. Yu Qingchuan's face turned red. Long Chen was too direct. Let me have a little time to prepare the bride price. Mingqi said that she wanted me to marry you in a beautiful way. Since she opened her mouth, no one in the world can stop me from marrying you. Long Chen Heroic Dry Cloud Tunnel. Who is Mingqi? What a big voice. Duke Wei couldn't help humming. As a result, he was just finished. A flower was in front of him, and another big mouth of dragon dust drew on his other side of the face. He slapped him again, and a mouthful of blood gushed wildly and passed out. Bold pariah, dare to blaspheme fairies, Mingqi is what you can call? After a slap of dragon dust, sneer Wei. As like as 2 peas in the past, Yu Qingchuan's bitter smile, and his eyes on the dragon's dust, don't make a noise. You have such a temper, and you can be accepted by the Rosefinch Empire. It's okay. It's my father-in-law. It's easier for men to communicate with each other. By the way, how about our mother's temper and whether there are any preferences and taboos? Can you tell me about it first? Long Chen looks at Yu Qingxian with a smile. Yu Qingchuan's face is red to the root of her ears. After all, she is a woman. She is not the same as a shameless person like Long Chen. How can she ask about such a thing in front of so many people? Yu Qingxian said angrily, since you are so confident and capable, you can come directly and do what homework in advance? You are a hero of the world. You don't pay attention to all the heroes in the world. There are hundreds of millions of creatures in the world. If you yell them out, is there anything you can't do in this world? With these words, Yu Qingxian turns to leave. As soon as she turns around, she is caught by Long Chen. Long Chen is still afraid of the heaven and the earth, the master of heaven and the second and my eldest brother. At this time, he looked pathetic, holding Yu Qingchuan's clothes in both hands, like a prodigal son who had made a change. Fairy, I was wrong. In fact, I was just bragging. Don't take it to heart. The reason why I boast and force is to give myself courage. You know, I am a timid person. How dare I propose to the princess of the Rosefinch Empire? You are a high-quality person, and you have a large number of adults. Don't share the same insight with me, a little lost schoolboy in the world. Please hold up your hand, point out the maze, guide me to a bright road, light up a magic lamp of happiness, and light my way forward. From now on, I will no longer be a lost lamb. Although he knew that Long Chen was deliberately teasing her, Yu Qingxian couldn't help laughing at her poor appearance and pious tone. In fact, she was not really angry. She was afraid that the dragon dust would not restrain her temper. At that time, she did not know how much trouble she would cause in the Zhuge Empire. Seeing Long Chen still praying, Yu Qingxian was angry and funny. At this time, Long Chen was like a student who had done something wrong and apologized sincerely. He couldn't fight or scold him. "All right, don't make trouble. It's too high profile. I'll go back to the Rosefinch Empire first, so as not to worry about my father and mother," Yu Qingxian said with a smile. Later, a touch of red glow flashed over her pretty face, and said in a voice that only two people could hear, "You come early." With that, Yu Qingxian did not dare to go to see Long Chen again, and left with the strong men and disciples of the Zhuge Empire. The disciples of the Zhuge Empire were cared by Yu Qingxian for a long time. They did not participate in any war. They only practiced in a treasure land sealed by Yu Qingxian. Therefore, all the disciples of Zhuge Empire came out safely. Many disciples of the Zhuge Empire secretly waved to Long Chen, indicating that he would come to the Zhuge Empire as soon as possible. Especially some beautiful female disciples even winked at Long Chen. It seems that they are telling Long Chen that it is not so easy to marry the princess of the Zhuge Empire. They should be prepared psychologically. As soon as Yu Qingxian left, Long Chen seemed to have lost his soul. The Dealing, Shirling, and many other races friendly to the human race said goodbye one after another. On the surface, Long Chen said goodbye to them warmly, but in fact he didn't know what he said. His brother Hong Yan just got together and separated instantly, which made him very disappointed. Let's go back to Dionysus first. When everyone left, Xia Guhong left with Long Chen, Xia Chen, and Guoran. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 39-32, Safe, finally safe. My God, I can see those ferocious faces as soon as I close my eyes. This war really scared me. I don't know if I'm old or not. When he returned to the Dionysian palace, one foot stepped into the door of the Dionysian palace. He felt endless peace. Guoran felt that all his strength would be exhausted, and he wanted to lie down immediately. Even with Xia Guhong's escort, on the way back, Guoran was still worried. He was afraid that some monsters would be killed on the way back. This war was too exciting. In fact, it's not only Guoran, but also Xia Chen. I feel that all the bones are falling apart. Now my heart is hanging, and I'm finally putting it down. People are going to collapse. You are poisoned by demons, so that's why you are like this. It has nothing to do with courage. Xia Guhong said with a smile. What is the poison of evil spirit? Long Chen has never heard of this kind of poison. Guoran and Xia Chen are more scared. This is a kind of poison of the soul, and it is also a kind of corpse poison. When you fight with corpse plague, the corpse sacrificed the lives of a large number of demon strongmen and awakened the corpse. There is a magic charm rune on the corpse, which is activated by it. Fortunately, he doesn't know how to stimulate the magic charm rune. It's a magic power possessed by the emperor of the winged demon clan. Once you give full play to it, you can't resist it with the power of your soul now, and you will become a lunatic in an instant. Xia Guhong explained. Dragon dust 3 people can't help but take a breath. The corpse of archaic devil that corpse plague god is terrible enough. It seems too frightening to sacrifice so many powerful demons that they have not yet fully activated it. But you don't have to worry. With your willpower, even if it doesn't, it will disappear in a few months. If you want to detoxify quickly, whether it's drinking or taking Dan, you can recover in a few days, so you don't have to worry about it. Xia Guhong said with a smile. That's good, that's good. I thought I was scared out of my wits because of my unstable heart and weak will. Hearing Xia Guhong's explanation, Guoran laughed and felt relieved. In fact, everything has a bad side, but also a good side, if you have enough willpower. You can use this poison as a spiritual experience to fight it with your own willpower. The benefits are also amazing. It will constantly stimulate the growth of your soul's power until the poison effect disappears. Xia Guhong rode. Hearing this, Long Chen immediately felt relieved. The willpower of the dragon blood soldiers is absolutely super strong. He is not afraid of this kind of erosion. The only one who is afraid of erosion is at his side. Haha, I think I have enough soul power. There is no need to do this kind of trial. I should focus all my energy on building new battle armor and building the exclusive magic soldiers of the Dragon Blood Army. My time is very tight. Boss, do you think so? Guo Ran said with a smile to Long Chen. Long Chen skimmed his lips. This guy is also this urine. What matter can retreat, can hide, but Guo Ran also has his reasons. Long Chen cannot force him. In the World War I, the Dragon Blood Army showed its super terror fighting power, but also exposed the problem of no weapons. If every Dragon Blood warrior has a weapon, and the power of Dragon Blood is integrated into the magic army, the strength of more than 2,700 Dragon Blood soldiers will be completely linked together, and the combat power will be increased by more than 10 times. Let alone those ordinary Tianjiao. Even the most powerful people, such as Shi Zai, Yin Changxing and Weng Tianyao, who are trapped by the Dragon Blood Army, will have to drink hatred on the spot and have no chance to escape. Moreover, the formation of the Dragon Blood Regiment is different from that before. Although everyone cooperated very well with each other, it was still far from the seamless performance in Tianwu mainland. If the formation and weapons are okay, Long Chen believes that with the fighting power of these brothers, even without him, the enemy can be killed. By the way, Brother Guhong, I heard that the secret place open this time is more than 3,000 worlds. What else is there? Long Chen suddenly asked. In the 3,000 worlds, Long Chen simply asked Bai Xiaola about the situation of Lingshao Academy, because all the disciples of Lingshao Academy, except Bai Shishir, Bai Xiaola, Qin Feng and Qi Yu, did not enter the 3,000 world. They all went to a secret place called Tianyuan World. It is said that their actions were meant by the Dean. The disciples of Lingshao Academy acted separately. And the Tianyuan World, Long Chen also heard about it in the mouth of Long Outyin. At the beginning, Long Outyin was glad that he didn't go to Tianyuan World and chose 3,000 World. Of course, Long Chen is also very glad that he can choose 3,000 World, otherwise all efforts of Luo Zichuan will be in vain. There are also many. There are Tianyuan World, 5-color Tianhu, Wuji Island, Jiuli Fairyland. Xia Guhong said dozens of names in one breath. Xia Guhong continued, however, it is impossible for a person to step on 2 roads at the same time. Purple Sky is the closest to here, and I can only ensure your safety in this area. So I chose 3,000 worlds for you. You should not blame me. Of course not. Thank you for your time. I've made a lot of money in the world of 3,000 this time. Dragon Dust haha smile way, he certainly won't blame Xia Guhong. Not to mention the ancestral dragon scale, the bronze tripod is a supreme treasure. It is a divine object that even the strong of the dragon clan are attracted to. In addition, Long Chen also harvested Taiyin wood and Fusang ancient wood, as well as countless corpses. Everything is priceless. Xia Chen and Guo Ran, on the other hand, harvested countless materials and runes in the place of celestial burial, which was of great benefit to their casting utensils and inscriptions. It can be said that they made a huge profit this time. Xia Guhong and Long Chen explained that the change of heaven and earth is a change of the whole world, not a local one. Each treasure land will have its own different opportunities. Some super powerful forces will evaluate where they can get the most benefits according to their talent conditions, and then decide which disciples to go to which treasure land. Long Chen smiles. Their assessment is income assessment, but they don't do risk assessment. The greater the income, the greater the risk. If not so many people staring at the dragon scale of dragon dust, they would not die. As the saying goes, people die for money and birds for food. If the temptation is too big, people will become crazy and lose their sense. After returning to the Dionysian palace, Guo Ran Tian shamelessly asked for a jar of good wine to eliminate the poison of the soul. Xia Chen, on the other hand, chooses to use the poison of the soul to enhance his soul power. After all, he is a master of runes, and the power of soul is fundamental. Of course, he will not give up such a good opportunity for promotion. After 3 days, Long Chen's qi and blood completely recovered. His mind sank into the chaotic space, and an excited smile appeared in his mouth. Hey, let me count the harvest. www. Novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3933 in the chaotic space. Those ordinary evil corpses harvested in the land of celestial burial have been completely absorbed by the black soil. Because those Archean evil corpses and dragon dust were placed beside them, and they were not absorbed by the black soil. Because the chaotic space was filled with corpses, the corpses were all the corpses of the Archean living beings, some from the land of celestial burial, and some from the Archean strongmen killed in the mysterious space by Luo Zichuan. Because there are too many corpses, they can't be swallowed up for a while, so Long Chen doesn't care about it anymore. Later, he competes for the Battle of Dragon Scales, so Long Chen has no time to distract himself from seeing here. Now the mountain of corpses has been completely swallowed up by the black soil. The ancient trees of Taiyin and Fusang, which were only 10 zhang high, have grown to thousands of feet high. In principle, this height is already a big tree, but the ancient trees of Taiyin and Fusang are still in the state of budding, and the trunk is extremely young. It seems that with a slight poke, water will flow out. From the bottom of the bark, you can see that there is liquid flowing inside, just like human meridians. The energy inside is slowly flowing, and the whole tree is in a translucent state. Although it is still in its infancy, the flames around it emit a strong pressure. Fortunately, this kind of pressure just entangles the trunk and does not spread around. The flame is the fire of the sun and the sun. It is the original flame of the tree of Taiyin and the ancient wood of Fusang. Dragon Dust searched in the forest and found the fire spirit slowly absorbing the power of fire on an old Fusang tree not far away. Huolinger and Lei Linger worked together to break the sky. Even Liao Ben-song, who is in the state of 3 flowers gathering on the top, is shocked by the 2 people and almost burst into pieces. It can be seen how terrible their attack is. However, Huolinger and Lei Linger didn't make any reservation. They really broke out with all their strength. After one blow, they were in a coma and fell into spirit state. But after a while, Huolinger has recovered most of her strength. She is absorbing the power of the sun's fire and the sun's fire to help her heal, so the recovery speed is amazing. On the contrary, Lei Linger is not good. She is still in the state of a group of thunder spirits. Even the thunder dragon cannot be transformed into shape. It takes a certain time to recover. Long Chen can't help but sigh that the 3,000 Taiyin trees and Fusang ancient trees were planted for Huolinger, and she will contract this land in the future. At the current speed, in a few more hours, Huolinger will be able to recover completely and fight with all her strength. However, Lei Linger is not bad. She has an ancient thunder tower and a thunder sword. She protects her dharma and seems to be using her own strength to help her recover. These 2 Thunderbolt soldiers betrayed Weng Tingao, but they were loyal to Lei Linger and even spared no effort to help her. This kind of behavior is extremely rare among divine soldiers. The Purple Thunder Empire doesn't know if there are any other treasures. It would be better if we could get more thunder treasures to Lei Linger. Long Chen's heart moved. It seems that he has a chance to go to the treasure house of Purple Ting Empire. Otherwise, Huolinger has Taiyin wood and Fusang ancient wood. With their growth, Huolinger will become stronger and stronger. Once the gap is opened, they will not be able to use double dragons to break the sky, and they will not be able to use thunder and fire to destroy the world. Poor Weng Tinghao and Weng Taibei, they have not yet waited to find Long Chen to avenge them. Long Chen has begun to think about them. Long Chen turned his head and looked at the core area. Tiandao tree was still the same as before. The fruit on it was knocked down by Long Chen, but there were still many. However, the Qibao glaze tree has grown up a lot. The 7 colors flow, and the colorful fairy mist gushes out continuously. Standing in the immortal fog, the dragon dust suddenly gets energetic, refreshed, and exhausted, and the whole person enters into an ethereal state. Qibao glaze tree, with endless life gas, but this kind of life gas and not obvious, its exuberant vitality, as if only belonged to itself, it seems to be operating some law, and this law seems to be able to form its own world, self-cycle. 7 treasures of glazed trees, grow a lot, accumulated a strong strength, summer morning and Guoran should be used. Longchen looks at the 7 treasures glazed tree and says to himself. Longchen knew too little about Qibao glazed tree. When it entered the chaotic space, it fought against Tiandao tree and occupied the central position, forming the pattern of Taiji yin-yang fish. The black fish occupied by Tiandao tree and the white fish occupied by Qibao glazed tree were formed. Longchen always thought that the Qibao glazed tree must have a great history. Moreover, it has a weak sacred breath, it has carried that breath at the beginning, but today it has grown up a lot, the light circulates, the fairy fog twines, it looks very strong, but the sacred breath on its body, still weak, no meaning to become stronger. After reading for a long time, he didn't understand. Longchen stopped studying the Qibao glazed tree, and once again put his eyes on the wood of Taiyin and the ancient wood of Fusang. Feeling the endless vitality of their bodies and the power of the terrible fire, a smile appeared on the face of Dragon Dust. Even in the budding state, Taiyin wood and Fusang ancient wood are much stronger than Jianmu Shinshu. Although the quantity of Taiyin wood and Fusang ancient wood is small, their quality can make up for the disadvantage in quantity. The most important thing is that the growth space of Taiyin wood and Fusang ancient wood is almost unlimited. As long as there are enough corpses, they can grow infinitely. At that time, Longchen will be the real immortal body. It's a pity that in the world of 3000, we shouldn't yell at that voice. Even if we yell, we should keep it. Just shatter their original spirits, and just stay in the body. I'm still too childish. Longchen shakes his head and sighs. If the corpses of hundreds of millions of strong people are put into chaos space, the trees of Taiyin and Fusang will surely grow bigger. Longchen looked at the huge corpses piled up beside the black soil. At first, he wanted to throw these corpses into the black soil to decompose. But later it was found that these bodies were too strong to decompose, so they left them aside and decomposed the easily decomposed body first. Now these corpses' Dragon Dust is not in a hurry to decompose. After killing the corpses, Dragon Dust found out how terrible these bodies are. There are many runes on these corpses. They are terrible archaic runes. They are of great research value. They may not be useful to him, but they must be of great help to Guoran and Xiachen, especially Xiachen. The mind retreats from the chaotic space and enters the soul space. In the sea of Dragon Dust's recognition, the bronze ancient tripod floats quietly there, motionless. After recognizing the Dragon Dust as the main body, there is no change. With words. Looking at the ancient tripod carefully, Longchen suddenly finds that there are words carved on the tripod, but there seems to be rust on it. Just as Longchen was about to buckle it, a strong Dragon Clan warning came to his ear. Don't move, or you will die in the next Tianjia. www. Ninefold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 39-34 Longchen's hand, just about to touch those copper rust, suddenly heard the words of the strong Dragon Clan, like an electric shock, retracted his hand back. You have suffered 100 times of losses, and you don't have a long memory. As I have said, this bronze ancient tripod has an amazing origin. Don't study it if you have nothing to do. The strong people of the dragon nationality have no good manners. But I spent so much effort to get it, and it can help me a lot. Longchen is a little embarrassed, but still argues. Help a fart, now you are not qualified to use it. What copper rust covers is the rune of heaven in Chaos Era. As soon as the rust is removed, if you take a look at it, it will inevitably appear in your disaster next time. With your current strength, what can you do against it? Even if there were 1,000 lives, they would have to be thrown into the disaster, the strong man of the Dragon Clan said angrily. Well, I was wrong. In fact, he was full of curiosity about the bronze ancient tripod and always wanted to study it. The strong people of the Dragon Clan say that it is extremely terrible, but they refuse to tell its origin. Longchen is not itchy enough. Everyone has curiosity. The stronger the person is, the more curious he is, and Longchen is no exception. I told you, the ancient bronze tripod has a terrifying origin, and it's not under your control now. When you get to your accomplishments, you don't need to communicate with it. It will naturally communicate with you. You've got enough secrets. You don't want this one. In short, don't try to make it clear in the future, let alone expose it. The strong dragon warned. Well, it'll do whatever you want. You can't make one of the 8 runes I learned last time in the 3,000 worlds. Dragon dust burned the other 5 runes, accelerating the absorption of the 3 runes, namely, Dragon Shoutian, Yunlong offering claws and Shenlong wagging tail. These 3 moves are too terrible. With these 3 moves, Long Chen killed all the powerful enemies, sweeping the whole field like destroying the withered and decaying. The feeling of being happy and incisive, Long Chen has never been so happy in his life. If all the 8 moves are learned, Long Chen doesn't know if he is qualified to challenge the 3-flower god. Don't think about it. You are not a real dragon race. The blood essence in your body is limited. Even if you learn all the 8 moves, you can only make 3 moves at most. Moreover, after each promotion of our dragon clan, the previous supernatural powers are sealed in the reverse scale. Each promotion is a new beginning and refines new magic powers. Therefore, I can't remember the magic powers in the reverse scale, and I can't teach you at all. The strong of the dragon race. So it is. Long Chen can't help but be disappointed. The strong man of the dragon clan said it very vaguely, but he still heard it. Now, although he has the blood essence of his ancestors, his strength is infinite. But people are human beings, and they can't compete with the dragon people in terms of strength. Compared with the real strong dragon people, there is still a certain gap, and listening to its tone, it seems that the gap is not small. This makes Long Chen feel a little lost. Zulong's strength is beyond his imagination. It seems that this gap cannot be made up by hard work the day after tomorrow. It seems to see the loss of dragon dust, and the voice of the strong man of the dragon clan has become a little softer and said, "You silly boy, how did you drill the point of oxhorn? Your physical strength doesn't necessarily depend on my blood essence. Have you forgotten what your essence is?" 9-star domineering formula. The spirit of dragon dust came all of a sudden. Yes, what I practice is the 9-star domineering formula. Can I combine the power of dragon blood with the power of 9 stars? The strong man of the dragon clan wakes up the dragon dust. The powerful power of dragon blood almost makes Long Chen forget his own foundation. Long Chen secretly felt ashamed. The change that Zulong's blood essence brought to him was too great, and he began to want to practice the magic power of the dragon clan. Although the power of the dragon clan is powerful, the 9-star domineering formula is a super terrifying skill. Now he is still groping and practicing, and has already possessed such terrible power. Let's not say that the 9 stars are fully opened. Even if it is the power of the stars, he can only attract 999 stars now. What kind of power will he gain if he can activate 9,000? What about all the 18,000 stars? Thank you for reminding me. Long Chen sincerely thanks. The strong man of the dragon clan said, "You remember, your fundamental is the 9-star domineering decision. Its power is beyond your imagination. And since you have embarked on the road of innovation, once successful, the power must be stronger than the original." I understand. I will continue to deduce my 9-star road. Long Chen nodded. No, it's not urgent now. You just got the power of my dragon blood. The dragon blood doesn't fit your body completely. In recent years, you still have to focus on the integration of essence and blood. Until the breath of dragon blood can be completely hidden, then you can be considered completely in control. The strong of the dragon race. Completely hidden? Is that possible? Long Chen was surprised. Now the dragon blood in his body is surging and roaring. He can't control it at all. His qi and blood are surging like a raging fire. If you hide such terrible power of qi and blood, what a terrible state of control is it? Is it possible that you have to fully control them? Or if the power of dragon blood is too strong, the power of 9 stars, the power of stars, the power of thunder, the power of fire, and even the power of your pupil will be greatly affected. If you go on for a long time, you will delay the progress of your cultivation. Especially now that you enter the fairyland and integrate the essence of my Dragon King, You will be seriously affected by my power if the realm is consistent. If you can't reach the physical strength, your realm will be stagnant all the time. The stronger the Dragon King's realm is, the less dragon blood breath will be released. Therefore, it is the same with the Immortal King realm. If the essence, chi and spirit cannot reach the balance, you will not be promoted. You have a strong breath, not to mention the power of the spirit. Therefore, the other two things in your fairyland do not need to practice. You only need to practice the power of the body, the strong of the dragon race. That is to say, my fairyland only needs to integrate the power of dragon blood? Dragon does some surprise tunnel. In that case, it will be much simpler. This time you don't have to eat Dan so hard. As long as you can control the power of my dragon blood, you can basically cross the early and middle stages of the Fairy King. As for the later stage, you need the cooperation of 9 stars. After the 9th heaven, you need the power of 9 stars and the power of dragon blood to break the shackles. At that time, it is the most difficult period. It is also the time to test whether you can innovate again on the 9-star road. The strong of the dragon race. Long Chen suddenly understood that after the 9 heavy days of the Dragon Clan, a new 7-star battle body would be formed. The 7-star battle body he has now condensed is just the most basic 7-star combat body. If he wants to become stronger, he must change it again. Hey, there's still a lot of time. It's just that I'll get to the business first. Long Chen suddenly thought of Yu Qingchuan's shy face before he left, with an excited smile on his face. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 39-35. Long Chen calls Guoran and Xiachen together, goes out of the Dionysus Palace and finds a remote place. Long Chen takes out the ancient evil corpses. The Wine God Palace is a holy place. Long Chen thinks that taking out the corpse there, even in the training room, is a kind of blasphemy to the Wine God Palace. After the corpses were taken out, Xiachen and Guoran began to record the runes on these corpses. The runes on these corpses are almost invisible now. Each kind of rune has great research value. It took them 3 days to record these runes. After recording, Long Chen put the corpse into the chaotic space and directly threw it into the black soil, which began to absorb slowly. When the 3 returned to the Dionysus Palace, Long Chen calls out the 7-treasure glazed tree. Under the tree, they study these runes. Under the shining light of the tree, people will be in an ethereal state. Their thinking is 100 times clearer than usual, and their running speed is also 100 times faster. They studied all kinds of runes crazily. They chose the most valuable runes. These runes came from the ancient evil corpses, their weapons, and the strange runes found in the burial places. As they studied, they made notes for fear that they would not understand these runes without the brilliance of the 7 treasures glazed tree. 7 days later, they studied hundreds of archaic runes, though some of them were too few compared with the hundreds of thousands of them. However, these are excellent runes, which are of great help to them. Moreover, it takes a certain amount of time to digest this rune. Although it takes a long time to decompose and activate the rune, how to use it is still a long process. Archaic runes represent the inheritance of Shinto in archaic times. The value of a complete archaic rune is immeasurable. Xiachen and Guoran made a lot of money this time. 7 days later, Long Chen collected the 7 treasures of the glazed tree and said to Xiachen and Guoran, "I'm going to the Rosefinch Empire. Will you two stay in the Bacchus Palace or come with me?" "Boss, if you go to marry Sister Qingxian, we won't make trouble. I've discussed with Xiachen. Now there is only a general plan for the drawings of dragon pattern armor and dragon pattern sword. We still need to ponder over the details. I want to gather all the dragon blood soldiers in the purple sun first. Only when I put on my clothes can I know whether they are suitable or not. Last time in 3000 Worlds, I wrote down the location of every dragon blood warrior. There are 360 people in Xianshan. I want to find them out first so that they can be used to test. Only by using them can there be no big deviation between dragon pattern armor and dragon pattern sword. If they can use them, other people will have no problem," Guoran said. Long Chen nodded and said, It's hard for you. By the way, it'll ask if there are other dragon blood warriors who haven't entered the 3000 world. They can contact each other and try their best to gather together. In the 3000 world, there are only over 2,700 dragon blood soldiers. There must be many dragon blood soldiers who have not entered the 3000 world. At least, none of the soldiers of the medical regiment has appeared. Without medical soldiers, the dragon blood army is like a sharp sword. Although it is sharp, it lacks flexibility. If it is rigid, it is easy to break. If it is hard to fight, it will hurt the enemy by 1,000 and lose 800. It is not conducive to a long war. In the last World War, if there were soldiers from the medical regiment, the dragon blood soldiers were not afraid of being injured and had no worries in the future, and their combat effectiveness would definitely increase greatly. Since Xia Chen and Guo Ran decided to look for the dragon blood soldiers scattered in Xianshan, they should simply spend more time and try to find the whole Xianshan as much as possible, and try not to miss anything. We don't work hard, boss. You work hard. Guo Ran, with a smile, patted his chest, indicating that the matter was wrapped on him, so that Long Chen could rest assured. How hard am I? Long Chen is dumbfounded and laughs. He doesn't have a good way. This time he's going to hook up with Yu Qingxian. To put it bluntly, he's going to pick up girls. Guo Ran, a flatterer, Long Chen, wants to find a way to get in. Ha ha ha. Guo Ran and Xia Chen laughed, and Xia Chen said, hard work is affirmative. The Rosefinch Empire has a great history and amazing inheritance. Boss, it's not so easy for you to pursue elder sister Qingxian. Besides, Duke Wei is not a good cake at first sight, and you've offended him. You haven't been to Zhuke Empire yet. I'm afraid all kinds of conspiracies against you have already begun to brew. Well, it's just a piece of cake for your boss. I don't dare to say anything else. I'm very confident in picking up girls. That Duke Wei is just a clown. He can't be on the stage. It's not worth mentioning. Long Chen smiles and doesn't take Duke Wei seriously. This time, with Menqi's approval, Long Chen seems to have got the Emperor's imperial edict. Now he is following the Emperor's edict, and no one can stop him from pursuing Yu Qingxian. Xia Chen and Guo Ran are more straightforward than Long Chen. After that, they leave the Dionysus Palace and ask Long Chen to say goodbye to Xia Guhong on their behalf. You're going to the Rosefinch Empire now? Is the dowry ready? Xia Guhong was a little surprised. He thought that Long Chen would spend a lot of effort on purchasing betrothal gifts. There's no time for betrothal gifts. I'm the best betrothal gift myself. Long Chen said with a smile. Xia Guhong said with a smile, you are very cheeky. It's impolite to go empty-handed. Fortunately, I prepared a small gift for you. Here are 10 jars of top-quality blood fire sorghum wine, which is Yu Zhaoyan's favorite wine. The blood fire sorghum wine is divided into 9 grades. If he has drunk 3 grades of blood fire sorghum wine, he has already been regarded as a divine product, while you have drunk 7 grades of blood fire sorghum wine. This is 9 grades, that is, the best. Elder Martial Brother Lise, his peerless spirit brew was brewed 8,000 years ago, but now there are only 12 jars. If you want to brew it next time, you need the next batch of blood fire sorghum to mature. I'm afraid it will be 10,000 years later. So these 10 jars of blood fire sorghum wine can be said to be extremely precious. I told Elder Martial Brother Lise about you, but he took out 10 jars without hesitation. You should remember his kindness. When Long Chen heard this, he was greatly moved. The elder Lise Long Chen had seen was a terrible fire practitioner. Long Chen could not see his accomplishments at all. He was extremely modest, but the wine he brewed was as hot as a knife. The wine was just powerful, and he could taste it for several days in one mouthful. Last time Long Chen drank his wine, he was put down and lay down for 3 days. The elders of Bacchus Palace were very kind to him. Long Chen took the wine respectfully and put it away. Let's see then. If he has a bad attitude, it's too wasteful to give him such a good wine. Long Chen has some pain. Xia Guhong burst out laughing, you are too stingy. If you want to marry someone else's daughter, you can't even give up a few jars of wine? If Yu Xiaoyan knows what you're thinking, I'm afraid you won't even be allowed to enter Zhuke City. Wait, you said that you who is Xiaoyun? Long Chen's face changed slightly, and the name made him feel a little bad in his heart. P.S. I wish the great motherland prosperity, I wish brothers and sisters happiness and well-being. Old devil and brothers and sisters ask for a few days off. These days I don't know why. Old devil serious insomnia. Yesterday only sleep more than an hour. Too uncomfortable, poor state. With everyone for a few days off. Old devil adjust. One watch every day, after the national day to restore update. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 39-36, Yu Xiaoyun is Yu Qingchuan's father. Why don't you know him? Xia Guhong asked. He thought that Long Qin should have been investigated. Yu Qingchuan's name has not changed, but his father is still Yu Xiaoyun. I don't know if he is the same person as Yu Xiaoyun, the leader of Dan Valley. No, Yu Xiaoyun didn't die in the war of extermination. The strong dragon saved the whole life in Tianda continent. He can't reincarnate. Thinking of this, Long Qin is a little relieved. This should be a coincidence, Long Qin asked. Brother, how is Yu Xiaoyun? This man has a lot of strategy, but he has a hard character and a short temper. He is a powerful god who has opened 3 flowers. He was the monarch of the Rosefinch Empire. He was a powerful man who gathered the national fortune of the whole Rosefinch Empire. However, although he is intelligent, he is headstrong. If 2 good queens didn't help him, it is estimated that the Rosefinch Empire would be greatly hurt by him. Although Xia Guhong is polite, it is not difficult to see from his evaluation that Xia Guhong, who is also the head of the same country, does not think highly of Yu Xiaoyun. That is to say, he's a straw bag and his wife is at the helm? Long Qin tries to find out. I didn't say that. Xia Guhong said with a smile. Long Qin looks at Xia Guhong and they laugh. Although Xia Guhong doesn't say that, his meaning is very clear. As soon as I heard that what Yu Xiaoyun said was not true, Long Qin had confidence. His mother-in-law said it was true, so it was much easier to do. As for the others, Long Qin doesn't ask any more. When he asks more, others think he's afraid. After asking Xia Guhong about what happened in the 3000 world, Xia Guhong said, in the 3000 world, you even killed all kinds of experts. Now it has caused a great shock. All the major forces encourage their excellent disciples to kill you. Even some super talents are ready to move. Moreover, the strength of those who dare to attack you will never be worse than Corpse Disaster, Ji Wuming, Juyo Luocha and others, at least at that level. It's said that Kun to return to the Kuanping family and open the grand ceremony of ancestor worship. You should be careful. If you insult the Kuanping family like this, they will never give up. Wang Tingmo, who left his life behind, returned to the Purple Thunder Empire and entered the closed door under the arrangement of Wang Taibei. He should have done more training for him. As far as I know, Wang Taibei deeply loves his posterity, but he has never passed on his real kung fu. He just wants to see how far Wang Tianweo can go with his own skills. This time, I'm afraid Wang Taibei is going to pass on all his lives tricks to Wang Tianweo. His thunder power is amazing. Don't be careless. When it comes to Wang Taibei, the old enemy, Xia Guhong's face becomes more serious. Wang Taibei didn't really show his killing moves in the First World War that day. Everything was just a trial. It is obvious that this former enemy must have hidden a powerful trick and didn't want to be exposed in front of him. Don't worry, brother. I won't despise any enemy. Long Qin nodded. I also talked with Xia Guhong about the current situation. In Xia Guhong's words, there are too many people in Long Qin who want to kill him. Xia Guhong especially tells Long Qin to be careful of Imputa. This man is extremely dangerous, scheming and good at hiding. If Long Qin kills his favorite disciple, he will take revenge. And his hand is different from that of Liao Bensong. If he doesn't do it easily, it will be a thunderbolt. According to Xia Guhong's recollection, the last time Empta killed Long Qin, it wasn't really a killing move. If it was a real killing move, Long Qin couldn't resist it. He did that, on the one hand, to test the strength of Long Qin, on the other hand, in order to lead Xia Guhong to rescue Long Qin, he angered Xia Guhong with the weakness of Long Qin, and let Xia Guhong show his real strength. That's why Xia Guhong killed the old monsters of the Monroe clan. Xia Guhong always believed that Emputa was always the master of the battlefield, controlling the rhythm of the whole battlefield. He was always trying to find the weakness of Xia Guhong and Longchen, doing calculation and evaluation. Although he retreated later, Xia Guhong was worried that Emputa might find out the real strength of Longchen through the attack of the storm, and the next move must be a well-planned and reserved strike. You have to be careful unless he doesn't do it. Once he does it, it's very likely that he will come in person. Xia Guhong said. He wasn't the one last time? Longchen was surprised. Of course not. He and Liao Bensong are not real, otherwise their three flowers would not be like that. Although they are all kings of the world, they have accumulated countless power of belief because they are divine practitioners. Once you use the power of the three flowers, their real fighting power will not be under me. Xia Guhong said. Although he had seen the fierce dust, he didn't underestimate it. When you meet Liao Bensong, you can't fight, but you can still escape. Moreover, this man has no brain and he never thinks. Although Liao Bensong is good at studying all kinds of killing methods, his character is not suitable for taking the killer route. He claims to be a killer of technology. In fact, the skill of assassination is very common. If he changes the route, his achievements will be higher than now. So I'm not worried about Liao Bensong. I'm only worried about Emputa. Before this man makes his move, he will surely lay a big net so that you can't escape. Therefore, you should be more vigilant. As soon as you see any sign of him weaving the net, go at once. Otherwise, when you see the whole net, it will be too late. Xia Guhong said. Longchen nodded. Emputa was too insidious. Suddenly Longchen asked, Brother, do you know Yi Silent? Of course I know. She is the king of killers in 9 days and 10 places. She is also the one who has never failed in her life. No one she wants to assassinate can escape. Xia Guhong said, with a look of admiration in his eyes. He obviously recognized the silence of the night. It said that the master of Emputa has been afraid to come out, just to avoid the silence of the night. Will he risk coming out to kill me? Longchen asked. There is indeed a rumor that if he dares to walk in 9 days, he will surely cut off his head. Therefore, from then on, Emputa did not dare to appear, and the night was silent and disdained to kill his separation, so Emputa's separation could walk at will. But you can't be careless because of this. You know, there is a secret method in NPD. In special cases, the original and the separation can be switched instantly. It only takes a moment for him to come and kill you, but he just doesn't dare to show up with me, not that he really can't use me. Xia Guhong said. I see. I see. After inquiring about the situation, Longchen returns to his residence from Xia Guhong with a dignified face. Pang is really a tough guy. The most terrible thing about this guy is that he doesn't want to be shameful. His identity, status, and seniority can't restrain him at all. He has no taboo to do anything but use it. No, he'll have to wait another 2 days. He'll have to get another card. Ooh, with these words, Longchen takes out a pair of wings. On the wings, there is a flow of spirit and blood. It's Kuntis wings. A smile appears on the corner of Longchen's mouth. I may not be able to beat you, but if I beat you, I will run away. What can you do for me? You can't count these wings, can you? www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 39-37 Boom. The power of endless fire and the power of thunder interweave. At this time, the original sky-covering wings have shrunk to 9 feet 9. On the shrunken wings of Kunpeng, there are many runes. The power of endless fire and the power of thunder flow in the rune. This is the refining method taught to Longchen by the dragon strongman. Originally, Longchen wanted to control the wings with real dragon essence and blood, but the dragon strongman said that Kunpeng, like the dragon, had a strong will and would not yield easily. The two forces, thunder and thunder, will not resist nature. Using the power of thunder and fire to destroy Kunpeng's will is just like boiling a frog in warm water. It only takes a little time. Originally, Longchen put Kunpeng's wings in the chaotic space and let Huolinger and Lei Linger refine it slowly. Anyway, Longchen was not in a hurry to use it. But after listening to Xia Guhong's words, Longchen raised his vigilance and finally decided to refine the wings before going out. Buzz! Within the wings of the Kunpeng, the divine light flickers, the flame and thunder dance, the wings of the Kunpeng keep shaking, and the roar of the Kunpeng comes faintly, which is the resistance of the Kunpeng will. At this time, Longchen didn't dare to press too hard. He ordered Huolinger and Lei Linger to slow down and give him some breathing time. Otherwise, if he pushed it too hard, it would have a tendency of self-destruction. After it's a little stable, Huolinger and Lei Linger continue to refine. After it's irritable again, give it some breathing time. In this way, Kunpeng's will was gradually eroded, the original strength was gradually emptied, and the resistance became weaker and weaker. 3 days later, Kunpeng's will finally disappeared. The wings were refined to be flawless, just like gold. The endless brilliance bloomed, piercing eyes, with a sacred and solemn atmosphere. People dare not look directly at them. The sacred power of the Kunpeng clan is so strong? Longchen can't help but be surprised. Of course, if there is no divine power, how can the Kunpeng clan compete with the Dragon clan? I've taught Kunpeng how to control your soul. If you take control of these wings, you will be like a tiger adding wings. You will be the first person in all ages, combining the powers of our Dragon clan and Kunpeng. Dragon's strong way, its voice, even with a trace of excitement. Master, I have the power of your blood, and then control Kunpeng magic power, do you mind? Longchen tries to find out. If you don't mind, you're not a descendant of the Dragon clan. You don't need to keep your blood pure. At that time, you can kill the Kunpeng clan with the power of Kunpeng. The appearance of the ghost fox and the evil dragon has the shadow of the Kunpeng clan. I always suspect that it is the Kunpeng clan who plays tricks behind the scenes that leads to the ghost fox and the evil dragon incident. They can play in. My arrogant Dragon clan will not have the same opinion with them. The strong man of the Dragon nationality said with a smile. Longchen suddenly realized that the strong Dragon people used him to disgust the Kunpeng people. But Longchen is a human race. It's no wonder that the Dragon people still maintain a proud attitude, but they can disgust the Kunpeng people through Longchen, just like the Kunpeng people used the ghost fox dragon to disgust the Dragon people. Think of here, Longchen Hahara's smile, in the heart completely did not have the burden, began to use their own soul power, slowly into the rune. Kunpeng splits the sky, Kunpeng breaks the void, Kunpeng feather shield. Longchen, you are lucky. You have awakened 3 primitive runes in this wing, and the fairyland has awakened 3 primitive powers. Kuntu is also a genius. The strong man of the Dragon nationality laughs, with a trace of surprise in his voice. There are countless runes here, but 99% of them are acquired runes. Acquired runes are acquired and will passively increase and bless the strength of wings. The most precious on the wings is the congenital rune, which is the basis for the continuation of the most powerful magic power of the Kunpeng family. However, these runes are extremely precious. Only the Kunpeng with extremely strong talent can be born. Kuntu is a primitive Kunpeng. His runes are not extended by blood, but generated by the law of heaven. Even if the runes are cultivated after tomorrow, they still belong to the congenital runes. Kuntu awakened 3 kinds of congenital runes in the fairyland. Even in the archaic times, they were very rare, so the strong people of the Dragon clan were surprised. Longchen was also very excited. When his soul was injected into these runes, he saw the horror of these 3 magic powers according to the method taught him by the Dragon strongmen. The first move, Kunpeng splits the sky. Kuntu has been used. That blow tears the sky and is extremely powerful. Kunpeng broke the void in the second move, but Kuntu didn't use it, because this is a body method which can improve the speed to the extreme. Kunpeng broke the void in the 3000 world. Kuntu was attracted by the movement of Longchen before he had a chance to adapt to it. Later, because of the war, he expended all his strength, and had no strength to use Kunpeng to break the void. Therefore, no one had seen this move. The third move, Kunpeng Feather Shield, is an absolute defensive posture. It also awakens in 3,000 worlds. Kunta used it, but he has not used it yet. He only summoned a rudiment and failed to exert its real power. That's why he was beaten so badly by Longchen. I'm rich. I'm really rich. Longchen laughs and is full of excitement. The 3 moves he learned in Zulong's rebellious scale are all offensive, but there are no body techniques or defensive moves. Now Kunta has made up for him. Longchen has many attack moves and few defense moves. Many times he can't use them himself. But if people around him are in danger, he will be in a hurry, because there are no defense moves, especially the super large-scale defense moves. Now, the vacancy has been made up, and Longchen has more confidence in his heart. He can attack and defend, but he can still escape. Now he has no worries. 7 days later, Longchen finally took full control of all the runes on the wings. On each rune he imprinted his own soul, as well as the soul marks of Huolinger and Leilinger. In this way, the Kunpeng wings can be controlled by Huolinger and Leilinger. Longchen stands in the void, and the pair of Kunpeng wings appear behind Longchen. When Kunpeng wings combine with Longchen, the violent power sweeps all the sky, and the endless divine light flows on the wings, blooming with the sun like light and holy breath, which makes Longchen look like the god of 9 heaven, sacred and inviolable. Haha, it's done. I'm here, Qingxian. Longchen looks up at the sky and laughs. Kunpeng's wings tremble, and people disappear in an instant. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3938 UK Empire has a long history and rich historical heritage. Although it has experienced numerous ups and downs, its inheritance has never been cut off. The Rosefinch Empire worships the Rosefinch totem and believes in the flame beast Phoenix. However, the Rosefinch Empire does not worship the Phoenix totem. It is said that the Phoenix, like Kunpeng and Zulong, is not born to be a phoenix. It is said that all the firebirds are blessed by the phoenix. Even a crow or a sparrow has a chance to become an immortal phoenix. The rosefinch is a fire god bird in the Chaos era. There were 13 times in history that rosefinch was promoted to immortal phoenix. It is also the most immortal phoenix species among all fire god birds. It has been said that the rosefinch is the most blessed race by the phoenix, and it is also the closest race to the phoenix. If you want to pass the ladder of 99, you need to pass the ladder of 91 to become a phoenix. However, after the Chaos War, there are still many rosefinches left in the 9 days and 10 places, but they can no longer be seen. It is said that all the rosefinches died in the Battle of Chaos. Because the Battle of Chaos is known as the strongest battle in 9 days and 10 places, the heaven and earth were destroyed, and 10,000 roads were destroyed. Countless races have become legends and can no longer be seen. And people who believe in rosefinch always believe that the rosefinch family is always there, and their faith has never been broken, and they are always unswerving. The Empire of Rosefinch is the most devout believer of rosefinch. Most of the practitioners in the whole empire are fire practitioners, while the Emperor of Rosefinch is all fire practitioners. It is said that the royal family of the Rosefinch Empire is a branch of the famous Juli people in the Chaos era. It has noble Juli blood, is naturally close to the way of heaven, and can control the fire of 10,000 ways. As soon as Yu Qingxian, a princess hidden by the Zhuke Empire, appeared, she caused a sensation in the whole Zhuke Empire because she had the pure blood of Juli, which was far more pure than her ancestors. It is said that when she was born, the snow-hidden princess had a colorful rainbow to protect her body. Later, she was summoned by the rainbow and became the owner of the 9th rainbow in the Sky Fire list. Yu Qingxian, who won the rainbow flame, appeared in people's vision. After returning to the Rosefinch Empire, he was even known as the Pearl of Rosefinch, whose light surpassed the stars. Zhuke Empire, with vast territory, rich real estate and abundant mineral resources, is composed of 37 states, surrounded by 8 neighboring countries, and has a good relationship in peacetime. Although the Rosefinch Empire was powerful, it never arbitrarily expanded its territory, never bullied others, and got along well with its neighbors. However, in recent years, some neighboring countries have become less friendly. They often make trouble on the border, and the empire that makes trouble is the imperial seal. The imperial seal once relied on the Rosefinch Empire and gained great benefits. In times of crisis, the Rosefinch Empire has offered a helping hand, but now they are making the most trouble. Behind the imperial seal, there is the support of the Ziding Empire, and the ancestors of the Ziding Empire and the Rosefinch Empire have a great hatred. Although there has been no war for millions of years, the hatred between them has not faded with the passage of time. Today's Rosefinch Empire, the border is still very tense. There are often small-scale wars, although the conflict is not big, but it has not stopped, making people nervous, and the Rosefinch Empire is extremely annoyed by the harassment. A group of clowns are wandering in front of their eyes all day. They really want to kill these ungrateful guys. In front of the 10,000-li city pass, a strong man in silver armor was looking at the enemy troops in the distance. His eyes were full of anger. This is the border between the Suzhou Empire and the Tianxi Empire. During this period, the Tianxi Empire began to increase troops to the border and kept practicing. From time to time, it came close to the border, deliberately stimulating the soldiers of the Suzaku Empire. Although they have never crossed the border, they often do charge drills and make sarcastic gestures on the edge of the border, which is an insult and provocation to the soldiers of the Rosefinch Empire. The Imperial Seal is a group of unfamiliar dogs. How much did we help them in those years? But now, under the instigation of the Purple Thunder Empire, it's not as good as a dog. Another soldier also angrily tunnel. On the city pass, dozens of silver-armored soldiers stood behind a gold-armored soldier. They were all strong men in fairyland. Although they looked old, they were full of chi and blood. They were in their prime of life. The warrior in the golden armor, who has the supreme power in his body, is a powerful supreme power. His cultivation is at the peak of the immortal king, and half of his foot has already stepped into the realm of the king of the world, so he can be regarded as a half-step king of the world. The half-step king looked at the strong man of the imperial seal who was practicing in the distance, and there was a touch of irony in his mouth. The imperial seal is a group of idiots. If we Zhuge Empire don't bully them, they think we are not terrible. The Purple Thunder Empire gives them some advantages and gives them some pressure, and they fall directly to the Purple Thunder Empire. Our Rosefinch Empire has not experienced war for a long time. Many people have forgotten the power of our Rosefinch Empire. Maybe it's time to show the edge of our Rosefinch Empire. Boom! All of a sudden, the void roared and exploded in the distance, the endless divine light trembled, and a splendid chariot slowly came. The sacred breath on the chariot made the spirit tremble. It's the chariot of the imperial seal. Open the guard and get ready to fight. When he saw the golden chariot, the half-step king changed his face and yelled. With his cry, the harsh alarm sounded, tens of thousands of Suzhou Empire's strong gathered, one by one showed their weapons, murderous. But what's wrong? Looking at that day, the chariot came slowly. When it was close to the camp of Tianxi Empire, the camp of Tianxi Empire was in chaos, as if the pot was boiling. Countless strong people rushed to Tianxi chariot crazily. Poof! On the chariot of Tianxi, a golden whip swept through the void. The strong men who rushed forward were foamed by the whip, including a half-step king, who was a leader of Tianxi Empire. The strong men on this side of the Rosefinch Empire are silly. What's the situation? My own people killed? Pa. All of a sudden, there were 3 whips on the 3 people. The strong man on the side of the Suzhou Empire found that the chariot was pulled by 3 people that day. The whips on the 3 people made them scream bitterly. When the half-step king of the Rosefinch Empire saw clearly the faces of the 3 people, his eyes would protrude and he recognized one of them. Isn't that the 17 prince of the Tianxi Empire? Damn it, it's so slow to pull a car. Drive, hurry up. When you get to the place, you can go away. Only then did the king of bamboo see that a man in black robe and a whip was sitting on the chariot, driving the 17 princes of Xi Empire as cattle. The prince pulls the cart? The strong men of the Rosefinch Empire were stunned. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3939. The strong men who used to drill in the territory of the Imperial Seal were filled with righteous indignation when they saw that their prince was taken to pull a cart. But when the man in black, holding a long whip, killed the strong in an instant, all the others were shocked and did not dare to move. The strongest one among them, including one of the most powerful half-step king, who was their biggest general, was killed in that way. How dare they move? When they got closer, they found that, in addition to the 17 prince, there were 2 other people, both of whom were strong in the divine realm, and they were full of supreme spirit. They were all bound by chains and pulled the chariot forward slowly. It's reasonable to say that it's not difficult for 3 such strong men to pull one such chariot. But at this time, they are breathing disorderly and covered with blood. It's obvious that they have been seriously injured. In addition, the man in black keeps whipping them. They are covered with wounds and look very miserable. But there was not much anger in these 3 people's eyes. Some of them were full of fear and pleading. In the face of the whip of the man in black, they did not dare to complain and pulled the car forward desperately. My friend, please stop. This is the border of the Rosefinch Empire. Please tell me why. The leader of the Rosefinch Empire said in a loud voice, with a friendly meaning. Of course, they are friendly. The enemy of the enemy is their friend. Seeing that the 17 princes of the Imperial Seal were treated as animals, they immediately felt more friendly. Have you finally arrived at the Rosefinch Empire? Damn, there's something wrong with the map. I went to the Imperial territory of the Seal. It's good to arrive. The man in black opened his black cloak and showed his handsome face. It was none other than Long Chen. Long Chen looked back at the 3 men. The 3 men who pulled the cart trembled and fell to their knees. The 17 prince trembled and said, "You promised, as long as we pull the cart well, you will forgive us for our disrespect to Princess Qingxian, and please keep your promise." It turns out that Long Chen was following the route of the map. In fact, he read the map wrong, and because he used the wings of the Kunping, his speed was so fast that his kung fu missed. Long Chen just flew to a city of the Imperial Seal. He found a place with many people and was ready to inquire about the way. He didn't want to rush into the Suk Empire to avoid causing unnecessary trouble. Unexpectedly, I happened to meet 3 unfortunate people who were talking about the Suk Empire. The 17 prince even talked about Yu Qingchuan's beauty. His words were salivating, and Long Chen was furious. Without saying a word, seizing 3 people is a fight. As a result, the whole city's strongmen come to fight. Long Chen knows that he has not hit the wrong person at all. This guy is from the Tianxi Empire. The 17 princes, among the princes of the Imperial Seal, were not very popular, so the back cover was so remote, close to the Rosefinch Empire. There are not many experts around the 17 prince. There are only 2 supreme-level gods who are strong in the world. Long Chen challenges one city. All the famous experts in the city are taken by Long Chen, and no one can stop him. Dragon Dust shot, the 17 prince mouth dirty, Dragon Dust in a rage, let them 3 people pull the car, do not pull directly killed. When they saw the horror of Long Chen, they knew that they had met a cruel character. In order to survive, they had to obey Long Chen and pull the car all the way. Well, when did I break my promise? Go away, remember, the trouble comes from the mouth, and control your mouth later. Long Chen Cold Tunnel. Although the Rosefinch Empire and the Tianxi Empire have grudges, it has nothing to do with Long Chen himself. Long Chen doesn't know if the powerful of the Tianxi Empire has ever attacked Long Chen in 3,000 worlds. Anyway, with the sound of the dragon howling 9 days, he doesn't know how many people have been killed. Long Chen has a clear sense of gratitude and resentment. He doesn't want to get involved in the disputes between the 2 countries. It's not what he's afraid of, but some things. Before he makes clear, he can't label others as good or evil just because of his personal preference, and he won't take his life just because of a disrespectful word from others. Thank you very much. When I go back, I will make a fresh start. The 17 prince kowtowed and was very grateful. For the first time in his life, he was so close to death that he knew how precious life was. That's your business. If you don't mend your ways, I'm afraid you won't be a new man next time, but a new one. Long Chen waved his hand and let the three go. The three were overjoyed. They took off their chains and even the chariot with the imperial seal. They seemed to have escaped. They didn't want to see the devil in black in their whole life. At this time, the strong men of the Rosefinch Empire came up one after another and opened the city gate. They heard the conversation between Long Chen and the 17 princes just now. At the same time, they also saw Long Chen's amazing means. They knew that Long Chen was a terror master. Such a person could not offend him, not to mention he was so protective of the Rosefinch Empire. Xiao Yong, the defense chief of Zhutian border city in Zhuke Empire, has met this warrior. The half-step king of the Rosefinch Empire gave a fist to Long Chen. In Xialongsan, I was friends with Princess Qingxian of your country. Because I didn't know the way, I mistakenly entered the Tianxi territory. When I heard someone desecrated Princess Qingxian, I took the opportunity to teach them a lesson and make my brothers laugh. Long Chen said with a big smile. Long Chen is unruly, informal and wild. But these city defense soldiers feel very kind to Long Chen's forthright character. With a word of brothers, they shorten the distance between them. It's Brother Long. Welcome to our Zhuke Empire. Please come to the city. Xiao Yong is very polite and introduces the dragon dust into the city. However, the soldiers behind him hesitated for a moment, still pulled in the she-chariot that day. After entering the city, Xiao Yong politely receives the wind for Long Chen. However, Xiao Yong, the defense minister of the city, is quite deep in the city. He quietly inquires about Long Chen's background at the banquet. He avoids the embarrassment of cross-examination and does what he should do. Long Chen didn't report his true identity. He only said that he was a disciple of the sect and had a good relationship with Yantian Shenzong, where Yu Qingxian lived. They had met several times and were good friends. In order to make Xiao Yong trust, Long Chen said several names. These people were disciples of Zhuke Empire who appeared in Xiandu before entering the 3000 world. When Long Chen said several names, Xiao Yong immediately reduced his vigilance to Long Chen. By the way, Brother Xiao, His Highness Qingxian once said that there are many talented people and experts in the Rosefinch royal family. My younger brother is invited by His Highness Qingxian to come here with a pious heart to see the great splendor of the Rosefinch royal family. Wait for Xiao Yong to drink almost. After having no guard, Long Chen is testing away. Ha, Brother Long is not my boast. I'm a Rosefinch royal family. I'm full of talented people. You're a friend of Her Highness Qingxian. When you know the strength of Princess Qingxian, do you know what rank Princess Qingxian ranks among all princesses? The dragon dust asked, Xiao Yong suddenly excited, eyes full of pride. Long Chen was stunned. He didn't expect to inquire about it casually. It seems that he has found out the amazing secret. How many rows are there? Looking at Long Chen, Xiao Yong vomited out 2 words. The 9th, www. Novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3940, 9th. Long Chen is really surprised. Yu Qingxian has Tianhong Kaiyan, who ranks 9th in the Tianhua list. Her strength is incomparable. In the 3000 world, she is no inferior in the face of Corpse Disaster, Ji Wuming, Juyo Luocha and others. In the Rosefinch Empire, it should not be said that among the many princes and princesses, her strength was only ranked 9th, which was a little frightening. It seems that he appreciates the expression of Long Chen very much. Xiao Yong says with a smile, Are you scared? I'm really surprised. I know the strength of Her Highness Qingxian very well. I'm not her opponent. I'm afraid I can only look up to those 9. Long Chen is very modest. The modesty of Long Chen made Xiao Yong feel embarrassed. He thought that Long Chen had been hit, so he said in a hurry, Don't belittle yourself, the 3 brothers of Long. You can challenge the master of one city by yourself, and force the 17 princes of Tianxi Empire to kneel down and beg for mercy. You are willing to pull a cart for you. This strength and courage are the only one in the world. However, as for the names of these 9 people and their powerful abilities, Xiao Yong did not mention them at all. He might have some reservations about Long Chen. After chatting with Xiao Yong for a while, Long Chen gets up and leaves. Xiao Yong personally sends Long Chen away and gives him the jade amulet for customs clearance. In this way, he has an identity and will not be questioned too much in the future. After Long Chen left, Xiao Yong immediately called his own soldiers and quickly reported the portrait of Long Chen to the high level. After all, if a strong man like Long Chen enters the empire, he must inform the high level. In case of Long Chen's bad intentions, he, the city's defense chief, will be overwhelmed. After reporting in this way, he will have less responsibility. Long Chen left Chengguan and looked at the jade fu in his hand. A smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Xiao Yong is a little interesting. There is a tracking rune in the jade fu. Do you look down on me? Finish saying Long Chen directly lost the jade fu. He came with a piece of sincerity. Although Xiao Yong did so, there is nothing wrong, but he always felt uncomfortable. Even their transmission array did not sit. Long Chen summoned Kunpeng wings. Wings trembled. People have been like a meteor whistling away. Long Chen's wings vibrate and the void is constantly distorted. It seems that Long Chen has penetrated into the channel of time and space, and its speed has reached the extreme. After such a long flight, Long Chen has gradually adapted to the speed of its wings. The roar of the wings and the vigorous wind are getting smaller and smaller. The weaker the vigorous wind is, the smaller the resistance will be and the faster the speed will be. At the beginning, Long Chen was in constant control of the fluctuations of the wings. Distracted, directly rushed into the imperial seal. Now Long Chen spread out his wings and flew fast and steadily. He was no longer hurt by the wind and couldn't open his eyes. In addition, Long Chen no longer had to open the dragon's blood to protect his body as he did at the beginning. At the beginning, because of its speed and inconvenience, Long Chen bumped into mountains several times. At such a terrible speed, if Long Chen didn't open the dragon's blood to protect his body, he couldn't bear it. Now it's different. He has gradually adapted to this speed. His mind is scattered, and he can see clearly the situation around him, instead of flying with his eyes closed. Now it's just the most basic speed for Kunpeng to break the void. There's still a lot to go in order to break the void silently. The magic power of the Kunpeng clan is really powerful. Looking at the distortion of the surrounding space and the rapid forward speed of his body, Long Chen can't help but praise himself in his heart that the Kunpeng clan is too strong. Soon Long Chen came to a city. Originally, Long Chen didn't plan to stay, but Xinji found that there was a Huayun business in the city. Long Chen stopped immediately. When he comes to Huayun business, Long Chen shows his identity plate and is warmly received. Long Chen asks Huayun business about the Zhuke Empire. After this inquiry, I was startled by the strength of the Suzak Empire. The Suzak Empire's leader and 2 queens were actually the strong ones who opened the 3 flowers. There are a lot of talented people in the Empire of Rosefinch, and the strong are like clouds. Apart from other things, there are 18 extremely arrogant people in the royal family of the Empire of Rosefinch. All of them are terrible monsters. This time, the 9 heavens were opened everywhere. The royal disciples of the Rosefinch Empire led a group of disciples into different mysteries. Deng Xianzi led some disciples into the 3000 world, but Deng Xianzi was not the supreme heavenly pride, and his disciples were relatively weak. It is said that this time, the great pride of heaven has made great achievements in all the treasure lands. They have not only achieved the fusion of the 2 poles, but also obtained the most precious treasures. Each one's strength has improved by leaps and bounds. It's frightening and it's like being reborn. Yu Qingxian ranks 9th among these princes and daughters, and this ranking is in the front row of Baodi. It is said that in the competition between princes and daughters, the emperor deliberately favors Yu Qingxian. Otherwise, with Yu Qingxian's strength, it is difficult to get into the top 10. Because Yu Qingxian was separated from her parents when she was young, no one knows the specific reason. After her return, Yu Qingxian was clever and sensible, and did not resent her parents, which made the emperor and queen feel even more guilty. So in the ranking war, she deliberately led her into the top 10. However, although Yu Qingquan's strength is not strong, he has detected the strongest blood of Jiuli and has unlimited potential in the future. In the Rosefinch Empire, the fight between princes and daughters is also very fierce. They constantly show their strong strength and wisdom to prove that they can be competent for the position of emperor in the future. Yu Qingxian has a quiet nature and has no interest in the throne. However, after her return, many princes and daughters are wary of her because she is too much favored. They do not have a good relationship with her, and even all princes and daughters do not associate with her. Hearing this, a touch of sarcasm appeared in the corner of Longchen's mouth. It's true that the royal family has no relatives. They give birth to a group of children, just like raising poisonous insects, and watch them kill each other and cultivate a king of poisonous insects? Longchen hated the atmosphere of imperial family, but no matter in Fengming Empire, Daxia Empire, or Feisheng Fairyland, there was no difference in the style of imperial family. There was no family relationship at all. I have to take Qingxian away. Such a broken family can't give her any warmth at all. Longchen turns his mouth. He thinks that Yu Qingxian is so clever and sensible that he must be bullied here. Thinking of this, Longchen says goodbye to the people of Huayun Commercial Bank directly. Before leaving, he goes to Huayun Commercial Bank to ask for an identity plate so that he can use the teleportation array freely. After learning so much about the situation, Longchen doesn't bother to ask any more questions. Longchen doesn't care what the Zhuge Empire is like. He just wants to take Yu Qingxian to leave this land of right and wrong as soon as possible. With the identity plate of Huayun Commercial Bank, everything becomes much easier. The people of Huayun Commercial Bank have a high status in Zakadi's country. No one interrogates Longchen and doesn't say anything. They don't even have to queue up to send messages. They have priority to enter directly. When the teleportation array lights up, Longchen people have arrived at Zhuge City, the capital of Zhuge Emperor. Longchen has just stepped out of the teleportation array. Before he can see the ancient city in front of him carefully, a noisy voice behind him rings. When the prince arrives, get out of the way. Then someone pushed Longchen rudely. Longchen frowned. He didn't want to make trouble. He stepped back and avoided the man's palm. Roll away. As Longchen just dodged the man's palm, the man seemed to think that Longchen didn't let him go far enough and reached out to push him again. The fire of Longchen came up all of a sudden. Shaking hands is slapping on the face. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3941, Pa. The man pushing Longchen was slapped by Longchen. Fortunately, the current Longchen is not the same as that in 300 years, and its power can be controlled. Otherwise, the slap will directly blow the man out. The slap of Longchen attracted countless people's exclamations. There were dozens of powerful people who opened the way and attracted countless people's eyes. The slap of Longchen immediately caused a huge commotion. Looking for death, the more than a dozen strong men who opened the way were so angry that they surrounded Longchen all at once. It seemed that they wanted to beat Longchen. Stop it! With a break, a dignified man appeared in a golden robe, a golden crown, a gold belt around his waist. He looks like a man in his 20s or 20s. He has a short beard. His eyes are like lightning. His light seems to penetrate people's hearts, which makes people dare not look at him. The dignified face of the man appeared. Those who opened the way strong, one by one with their hands down, let to one side. Around the dignified man, there are dozens of strong men in brocade robes. These strong men and women have amazing breath. They are all top-class strong men, and among them, they are also outstanding. They are all real masters. When those people look at Longchen, they can't help but have a look of shock in their eyes. They are startled by the powerful fluctuation of qi and blood on Longchen. Dragon dust has been refining Zulong's essence and blood for some time. The power of dragon's blood can be controlled, but it has not been controlled in micro level. There is still a trace of leakage in the breath. Ordinary strong people may not be able to sense it, but these supreme arrogants, at the first sight of Longchen, have a sense of it. They see that Longchen is a strange face, so they are shocked one by one. The dignified man walked up to Longchen. He had a deep breath and didn't leak out at all. Longchen was awe-inspiring. He was so strong that he brought him no less pressure than Longation and Kuntu. Longchen didn't expect that before he entered the imperial capital, he met such a strong man. Longchen looked at the dignified man carefully and felt that his age should be between 40 and 50 years old. His cultivation was so solid that it was the result of suppressing cultivation all the time. He is also a strong man in fairyland, but his breath has come to the state of returning from reality to emptiness. If it wasn't for the 9-star body Jew's amazing feeling, Longchen would even have lost his sight. The dignified man, looking at Longchen with a look of surprise in his eyes, said coldly, "The first time to Zhuke Empire?" Longchen frowned. Although the dignified man's tone was not rude, it always gave people a sense of supremacy. A simple inquiry was like torture, which made people extremely uncomfortable. "Is there a problem?" Longchen did not answer, but asked. Bold, one of the most powerful men around the dignified man yelled, "Fellow with eyes, do you know who is in front of you? As long as you don't have a good temper, I'm not qualified to tell you." Longchen cold tunnel. "Son of a bitch? How dare you mention the king?" Pa, as the man was talking, Longchen drew his big mouth, his big hand on his face, and a loud bang, the supreme strongman snorted, half of his face was bloody and blurred and flew away. But the man reached out his hand, and the dragon's face was empty. The face of the dignified man's face suddenly gloomy down, Longchen in front of his face pumping people, his hand has not been able to stop. This for him is a huge provocation. Name it. The dignified man's anger rose in his eyes. Obviously, after the name of Longchen was announced, the next step was to fight. At that moment, the people around all of a sudden became nervous. They looked at Longchen in shock. They didn't know where the man in black had the courage to make trouble here. Longchen shakes his head. "What's the matter?" "I'm looking for someone. I'm in trouble before I go to town." Golu Golu. Just as the dragon dust was about to give its name, the sound of the wheels rolling on the ground came, and a donkey pulled a broken car slowly. The driver was a 12-year-old book boy. It was strange that the book boy didn't seem to see the people around him, so he drove the donkey straight here. When they saw the broken car coming, the strong men gave way one after another and did not dare to stop it. The 12-year-old book boy, however, had no accomplishments at all. He was just an ordinary man. When I saw the broken car, the dignified man's face was slightly ugly, hesitated a little, and finally gave up a position. So the donkey cart passed in front of the dignified man and Longchen. The martial arts like to fight for fame, fight for profit, fight for ignorance, fight for blood and dust, bury bones in the wilderness, but they still enjoy it, don't know its reason, extremely stupid, extremely stupid. When the donkey cart passed in front of them, the voice of the old man's contempt came from the cart. It seemed that he disdained all the martial arts here. His voice is old, and his breath is obviously insufficient. He is also an ordinary old man, but he dares to scold all the strong. The dignified man didn't speak in the face of the old man's rebuke. His face was gloomy and obviously angry. "Well, frog can't talk about the sea, how can summer insects talk about ice?" In the face of the old man's rebuke, Longchen is not used to his problems, so he directly opens up. Dragon dust this opening, the presence of strong all surprised, but shocked, also with a touch of admiration. You know, the identity of the old man in the donkey's car is amazing. No one here dares to talk back to him. When Longchen opens his mouth, the driving boy suddenly pulls the reins, and the donkey car stops in the middle of the road. The driving boy glares at Longchen and says in a cold voice, "How dare a rude man who doesn't know the truth and only knows how to solve problems by violence be rude to his master?" Master? What is that? Never heard of. See, a book boy also dare to sneer at himself. Dragon dust suddenly angry. Disdain tunnel. Do not know the truth? The road is for people. No one is more noble than others. When an animal comes, others have to give way to you. The animal in Longchen's words refers to the donkey, but it means to scold the book boy and the old man in the car. That book boy is angry. Longchen said with disdain, "What are you? You know the truth? Why do you stop in the middle of the road to stop others? It's good to criticize others and say that others look like monkeys? Can I have a face? Be bold, be disrespectful to master. Come on, take it from me." The boy yelled at the dignified man and others. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3942. Embarrassed, after the boy yelled, the dignified man and others didn't even look at him, or even all the people around him. The book boy's face suddenly became very ugly, angry and anxious, but he could not command the people around him. "Sure, forget it. Don't delay for the vulgar. We have to meet the emperor. The stone won't nod. The rotten wood can't be carved either. The old man in the car is cold." After the old man spoke, the book boy pointed to Longchen and said, "There are hundreds of millions of knowledge in the world. It's not only one of martial arts, but only those who have no knowledge will not have the heart of awe." With that, the book boy drove away with the donkey cart. Longchen was scolded with anger in his heart. If he hadn't seen that he was a child, he would have smoked him with a big mouth. Let him know what awe is first. "I'll tell you what happened today. Next time I have a chance, I'll ask you for advice to see why you are so arrogant." The man with a dignified face spoke coldly. "I'm arrogant? Ha ha, it's interesting. Are you taught by that old man? You look like a monkey with your hair. Can I be more arrogant than you? Why do you have to clean up the market? Too many people to walk? Do you have to make way for everyone to make you noble and special? I heard that you are what, prince? Hee hee, you'll be a great prince all your life." Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. "Who is your excellency?" Zhu Yunwen said angrily. "It doesn't matter who I am. You will know soon. Besides, I won't leave the Rosefinch Empire in a short time. I believe we will meet again soon." Longchen did not pay attention to the prince, turned and went straight to the city. On the face of Longchen, Gujing has no waves, but on the inside, he is muttering that the eldest prince is not surnamed Yu, not the same as Yu Qingxian. What's the situation? Originally, it was necessary to register to enter the city, but after such a disturbance, the registration officer did not dare to stop Longchen for fear that Longchen would slap him, so he let Longchen in. "Prince, do you want me to send someone to follow him and investigate his details?" Zhu Yunwen's side is a supreme-level strong person low-voice way. Zhu Yunwen shook his head and said, "There's no need. He's a master and doesn't care to lie. Since he says that there will be time to meet, there will be. When we meet next time, everything will be clear. This man is really brave. He dares to hate Sun Fuzi. Hee hee, it's really enjoyable. I almost applauded him." A strong woman said with a smile that she seemed to appreciate Longchen. "He's not a member of the Rosefinch Empire. He doesn't understand master's status at all. The so-called newborn calf is not afraid of tigers, but he doesn't know that he has caused great trouble." Another strong man said, "Those guys in the Confucius Institute are really annoying. They always know how to use their tongue to argue. It's annoying. What's most annoying is their attitude. They are very high and lofty. They don't have much knowledge and they have a lot of airs. But they can't bear to slap a picture. When it comes to the Confucius Institute, people immediately say a word to me. They are very dissatisfied with the Confucius Institute, but they have nothing to do." When Longchen entered the imperial capital, he found that Zhuke City was bigger than he thought. There were 5 lakes, 4 mountains, 9 streams and 18 streams in the city. The whole Zhuke City was square. The buildings inside looked disorderly, but in fact they were arranged in a strange formation. If you look down from the sky, you can see that the whole Rosefinch City is like a huge seal. In the center of the seal, there is a huge divine bird pattern. The divine bird is surrounded by a flame-like pattern. It is the divine bird Rosefinch that the Rosefinch Empire believed in. The buildings in the city are very old, but they give people a sense of vitality. It's like a bird flying to the sky at any time. This array is powerful. What you see now is still on the surface. I don't know what's hidden underground. If Xiaqin is here, he will be interested. Looking at the buildings in the city, Long Chun can't help sighing. Even if he is a layman and only knows a little bit about the array, he can see that this Rosefinch city is a terrible array. Once launched, its power is unimaginable. After entering the city, Long Chun found that the ancient city of Zhuke has a strong humanistic atmosphere. There are many people in scholars' clothes shuttling back and forth among the crowd. They are ordinary people, not practitioners. But for those practitioners, they look cold and proud, and seem to despise them. Dragon dust is very strange. The fairyland respects martial arts. Why does the Rosefinch Empire seem to value culture more than martial arts? Some of those scholars, in groups of 3 or 5, either point out the country, or criticize the reality, or recite poems correctly, or sing songs when drinking, look very natural and unrestrained. In tea houses and restaurants, they are regular customers. Long Chen is walking in the street, wearing a black robe and carrying a huge Ming Hong sword on his back. He looks very eye-catching. Some scholars even look at Long Chen and point at him behind his back, showing disdain. Long Chen smiles and doesn't get angry. Who doesn't say people behind? Who doesn't say people behind? As for what others think of him, he never cares. I'm very interested in the culture of the Rosefinch Empire. Along the way, Long Chen found that the cultural atmosphere here is very thick and the historical heritage is very deep. Even the roadside shops have a strong historical flavor. The shops on the main roads have nothing to do with the warriors, which is totally different from many cities. When they come here, it seems that Longchen has returned to the Fengming Empire in the world, but gives Longchen a kind of intimacy. Sorry, you can't bring weapons in here. Longchen comes to a calligraphy and painting shop. Just as he is about to enter, he is stopped by the shopkeeper. Looking at the expression of disdain on the shop boy's face, Longchen's face is strange. The Rosefinch Empire is really an interesting country. A shop boy is so horizontal. Longchen smiles. Instead of entering the shop, he looks outside the shop and finds that although the shop is small, many of the paintings in the shop are rare. They are skillful and profound in artistic conception. Longchen wants to buy some, but seeing the attitude of the shopkeeper, he doesn't bother to toss about. These days, what he sells is more horizontal than what he buys and no one else. Of course, there are also people who have a good attitude. When Longchen saw that there are people who sell jewelry, the workmanship is very beautiful, so he wanted to buy some. As a result, he was told that in order to buy things in the Rosefinch Empire, he must use the exclusive currency of the Rosefinch Empire. Dragon dust suddenly silly eyes. No wonder some shops directly rush people. Feeling is to see that he has no money, lazy to waste words. Zheng zheng. All of a sudden, there was a sound of Qin in the distance, and someone exclaimed, "It started, the fairy of Qin clan has started to play." Then countless people rushed out, like running water, to the end of the long street. Driven by the flow of people, Longchen came to a huge square. In the center of the square is a high mountain. The spring water flows down from the top of the mountain. Gurgling water and dense fog make the whole square like an ethereal fairyland. Before playing Gaoi, there was a beautiful woman sitting on the platform of Gaoi. Liao Yuhuang? When you see one of the women, Long Chen is stunned. Unexpectedly, he meets an acquaintance here. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3943. 18 women, with their clothes floating and fairy-like, look pleasing to the eye. With their slender fingers, they dance on the guqin. The sound of the guqin washes people's spirits. In front of us, the beautiful scenery is picturesque, the beautiful woman is immortal, the piano sound is like a big pearl, and the small pearl falls on the jade plate. Standing here, it seems to be accepting some kind of soul baptism, far away from the troubles of the world, and forgetting all the worries. It can make people empty their mind in an instant, which is a wonderful enjoyment. Longchen saw many strong men in gorgeous clothes with rosefinch embroidered on their sleeves. Long Chen had seen such a tattoo on the great Prince Zhu Yunwen, and knew it was a symbol of royal identity. Next to the royal disciples were a group of men and women in scholars' clothes. They were very young, not practitioners. They sat with the royal family members, but they had a clear distinction, which meant that well water did not offend river water. Except for the thousands of seats in front of us, the rest of us could only stand in the distance to enjoy the music. There were hundreds of thousands of people present, but none of them made a sound. They were all listening to the wonderful music. Long Chen stood in the crowd, not conspicuous by his height, but the big knife he was carrying was particularly conspicuous. It's just that those scholars are disgusted to see Long Chen. It seems that Long Chen's dress makes them very uncomfortable, but they don't say anything. While enjoying the performance, Long Chen looked at the royal disciples in front of him and found that there were men and women among them. The eldest prince was not among them, and the figure he expected did not appear. Long Chen sees a few faint breath. It's like a strong man with a wild beast dormant in his body. Long Chen not only sighs in secret, but also sighs that Zhuke Empire is a crouching tiger, hidden dragon, and the experts are like clouds. But what puzzles Long Chen is that Liao Yuhuang himself is a master. Today he even plays a song with so many people at the same time. It seems that these people are her classmates. That is to say, they all come from Qin sect, one of the 4 ancient schools. Suddenly, in the sound of the piano, a melodious sound of the flute sounded, and a woman in yellow came out. When the sound of the flute sounded, the whole music was pulled up in an instant, and the tune gradually rose, with a great momentum to the sky. When the tune of the flute reaches the extreme, it stops suddenly, and the sound of the piano and flute disappears. However, the echo between the heaven and the earth is endless, and the soul seems to be sent to the clouds, hovering around for a long time. After a while, people clapped and clapped. It was obvious that the music was so exciting and wonderful. In particular, the last treble seems to bring people into the sky. The feeling of impact and explosion is endless. It seems to see an unprecedented world. Both practitioners and ordinary people can resonate. The people present applaud desperately. The women in yellow and the other women playing the zither stood up one after another and saluted the audience. When Liao Yuhuang's eyes swept the audience, his eyes suddenly brightened and he saw the dragon dust in the crowd. Long Chen nods to Liao Yuhuang. Although he doesn't have much contact with Liao Yuhuang, at the Kyushu conference, Liao Yuhuang once helped Long Chen. Long Chen always remembers this feeling. Liao Yuhuang suddenly whispered a few words to the woman on the stage. The woman in yellow looked at Long Chen in surprise, and then nodded. Liao Yuhuang just lightly lifted her long skirt and ran down from one side of the platform to Long Chen. Her movement attracted everyone all at once. She didn't know what she was going to do. The woman in yellow and other women also looked at Long Chen, as if they were waiting for something. For a moment, everyone looked at Long Chen, but found that the man in black didn't know anyone. I haven't seen you for a long time, but you still have the same style. I'm glad to see you have made further progress. When Liao Yuhuang comes, Long Chen gives a gift first and says, "Brother Long is very polite. After many years of farewell, Brother Long's life is full of qi and blood, and the road of martial arts is thousands of miles a day. It's really gratifying." Liao Yuhuang also gave a gift, with a smile on her face. It seemed that she was very happy to see Long Chen. "If Brother Long doesn't give up, sit in the front row." Liao Ye's hand tilted and made a gesture of invitation. Liao Yuhuang's action shocked countless people. The disciples of Qin sect are immortals who don't eat fireworks. They are the symbol of holiness. They are noble and holy, but they keep away from others. People can enjoy the music of the disciples of Qin sect, but few of them can speak to them. Even the people sitting in the front row have a very special status and dare not speak rashly for fear of being rude to the beauty. Now Liao Yuhuang is so gracious to invite Long Chen to sit in the front row. Many people are surprised and jealous. Many people whisper to themselves and guess the origin of Long Chen. "No, I'm working nearby. I'm attracted by your wonderful music. Just come and listen to it. I'll leave in a moment. You don't have to greet me, Yuhuang Fairy." Dragon does see so many people looking at him, suddenly some uncomfortable, he doesn't want to be in the limelight here. Especially those scholars over there, looking at him one by one, with a very unfriendly look in their eyes. Long Chen was afraid that he would be angry for a while, and slapped a large area of him to death. Brother Long, are you not willing to give me any advice? Last time at the Kyushu conference, Yu Huang didn't have the chance to ask for advice from you. This time, we can't miss another good opportunity. With that, in everyone's shocked eyes, Liao Yuhuang actually holds Long Chen's hand, does not give Long Chen the chance to refuse, so he drags Long Chen to the stage. Long Chen suddenly felt embarrassed. This action was obviously too intimate. However, Liao Yuhuang's eyes were innocent without too much emotional fluctuation. This action just wanted to keep him, and there was no love between men and women. Being pulled by Liao Yuhuang, Long Chen is too embarrassed to fling her away. That would be rude and rude. In desperation, Long Chen can only harden his head to come to the front of the stage. When he comes to the front of the stage, he finds that the seats here are full of people, and there is no place for him at all. Those scholars, with proud faces, looked at Long Chen coldly, and didn't mean to give way. If you don't want to squeeze us together, man? Just as Liao Yuhuang was about to speak, a young man in the third row waved warmly to Long Chen. It was a young man in his early 20s, with a delicate appearance, just like a clever boy. However, this big boy is a terrible super strong man with strong breath. However, such a person gives people a feeling of innocence and harmlessness. Thank you so much. With a fist clasping, Long Chen quickly sits next to the man and shares a seat with him. Originally, Liao Yuhuang wanted Long Chen to sit in the first row in order to show his respect for him, but Long Chen didn't give her the chance to give way and sat down directly. Your name is Long Chen, isn't it? Suddenly, in the first row, a woman turned her head to look at Long Chen, cold tunnel voice, with a strong hostility. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.